welcome back to the semifinals. The semifinals of the Christmas Cup 2023. It's been a long time coming. This event started back in December of last year, technically, which sounds like a long time ago. Started back in December, and we have finally made it here to the final day of our tournament. We are here to crown who is the champion of Christmas. Let's go. Let us go, as we have spawning in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, the red Terran player representing Twisted Minds. It is Nicaract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a opponent. Oh, sorry, top right-hand corner, we have a opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. Oh, we're going for a proxy. And we are going for a proxy. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. So welcome everyone, of course. Welcome everyone. We just wrapped up with the round of 8 with the quarterfinals matches here of this tournament, and we are here to determine who is our champion, who will be crowned the winner of Christmas. That's a Christmas Cup here. A lot of money on the line. $3,000 prize pool, just under 3,000 USD prize pool. For those that are curious, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket, to have a look at the road that all these players have been walking to make it this far in the event. Again, Nicaract did barely make it out of his group, but Skills, of course, came out first in his group in the round of 8, and now they face off against each other in a best of 5. A best of 5 semifinals match. After this series, we will be diving into another. We'll be diving into the lower semifinals, which will be Wayne versus Night Phoenix. And if you're in the chat, predictions, they will be open. Do need a moment here to get them up and running. Here we go, semifinals. Best of 5, Skillus versus Nicaract. Good luck, man. Good luck. Predictions are open. Upon hearing this message, they're already closed. Predictions open. Posting them in the chat. And here we go. We do have a proxy Reaper here. We do have the bunker on the low ground to try and deny mining from his opponent. Deny mining of Skillus. Probe going to be dipping on in. And it's going to be threatening that mineral line. So far, no damage being done yet. Ooh, as the probes, they do all escape. And the Reaper gets no probe damage for the timing. Oh, do you get one? One probe goes down. Not bad. As we do dive into the natural base at the safety of that bunker, and we do deny mining for as long as we can. There is a shield battery on the way from the pylon on the high ground, which means we can eventually take control of the low ground. We'll eventually take control. As Reapers, they dip in once again, going straight for that Stalker. The shield battery is late. Oh, but the Reapers, they take a lot of damage. They take a lot of hits. Another Reaper has yet to arrive, as we're up to 2 Stalkers. Behind this, we're getting into a 1-1-1. Very aggressive follow-up. No CC, by the way, from Nicaract. Not yet. Doubling down on his aggression. As again, he's going to be chipping away at these Stalkers. Getting quite a bit of damage done so far, but the shield battery going to be topping them up. Third Reaper has arrived. Oh, clutch micro there, keeping that SCV alive. Really good control out of Nicaract. Going to be able to maintain his position a little bit longer. Overcharge is popped, and we can finally break through. We can finally break this bunker and break these Reapers. SCV goes down. No more repairs, and the Reapers are going to get the hell out of there. Good grenades, but one Reaper does get picked up. As Nicaract will escape, and again, the damage has been done. He killed one probe, and he denied a lot of mining in the natural base. That was the purpose. That was our plan. And we've already seen this. We actually saw this against Shameless. We're following it up with Winter Mines. That is why we went for a 1-1-1 now. This is dangerous. Just because this natural base is so late. This base is so delayed here because we're doubling down on Winter Mines and on drop play. Armory is on the way. Detection will be required. Observer is already coming out though. We already have detection. Ay. It was a robo opener. Not like this. Skillus going for a robo opener means he has detection already. It does mean that he doesn't have Blink, for example, but this is a very safe way to play in Protoss versus Terran. You get early detection, you get early Immortals, you get early Colossus. You forego Blink and Phoenixes and map control, that's true, but you're safe and sound back at home. Here comes a drop into the main base. Skillus does react, he's going to get in position. Mind Shield's going to be going up and up. Ooh. Couple of shots will go up. We got 3 workers so far, only 3 probes go down. We will clean this up. Detection is required, and the Observer is making its way back home. First going to be scouting though. Does confirm the opener, does confirm the follow-up. Reaper zip into natural, getting more probes. 4 workers, 5 workers in total. And the Reaper is going to get a full scout of the main base. Observer has arrived. We clean up all these winter mines. And we have another drop on the way. Another quadruple mine drop. So committed here. So far, these haven't really paid for themselves. Again, because of the Robo Opener and Skillus, he was just so prepared. He has units in position. There's still that Reaper going to be threatening a dive. Likewise, Observer getting across them. Confirms it's not a one-base all in. Here comes the mine drop. Mines a burrow here into the natural. Up. 4 workers go down. We have 1 extra wind mine shot yet to go off, but it looks like we have detection. We shut it down. And every single wind mine will fall. Medevac does barely survive. Just barely. And as a result, as the dust does settle, you could be thinking, I mean, we killed some probes. 10 workers went down. For 7 wind mines, plus an armory, plus a delayed natural base, plus the medevacs. It's not worth it. Not worth it yet here. That's why Skillus is ahead. He's ahead in workers, and he has a gold on the way. The pressure is still on Nickrat to get damage done. He comes back in. Does dive back into that main. The mine going to be shut down. Liberator does siege here towards the natural. We're getting some probe damage. This is much more worth it, though. 5 workers go down, and the Liberator does survive. Very nice damage done here. Oh, that spoke too soon. As we catch the lid. The Liberator goes down in the main. The gold base has been confirmed. And Skillus will be dealing with this Reaper. As we are already getting into our Colossus production. Again, because of the Robo Opener, fast Colossus, we're now getting into a Twilight Council to Blink. Blink is delayed, but it is on the way. And Skillus, he's content to just defend. To just chill back at home, fortify his bases. Get ready for a longer game. Meanwhile, we do see Nickrat on a 3-1-1 setup here. Working towards Stim, Combat Shields, tank production. There it is, 3rd TC on location. We do get eyes on the Observer. We shut it down. We do shut it down. See Nickrat could be pushing. The move out is going to be spotted by the Observer. Keen eyes there, or good scouting from Skillus. He does pull back. Now this army has a lot of potential. You know, we have 3 tanks. We have a pretty hefty army as well. But Skillus, he's on top of the high ground. He's on the ramp. Massive force moves. He slices up the marine. Oh my god, so many Marines go down. Brutal trade. 9 Marines and 1 Marauder. Dive on forward. We get a tank. Don't quake another. Ooh, massive volley goes off. The volley does go off, but a good trade nonetheless here from Skillus. Behind this Dark Shrine on the way. +1 as well. Here comes that gateway explosion. Basically, all this has been delayed here in favor of the 3rd, and now the 3rd, the goal base is fully operational, it's up and running, and with the boosted economy, that's where the gateway explosion comes in, the tech, the 4th base. Skillus getting comfortable, and Nickrat, his goal here was to deny the gold. He's aware of it, he knows it's here, but he can't do anything about it. Not anymore. He's stuck at home, building himself up into a 3-base economy. Hopefully his 4th can maybe be the gold, but it's going to be so difficult to hold on to. It's going to be so difficult. Of course, DTs have potential. They can slip into mineral lines, especially if there is no detection, no turrets, no scans. Ghost Academy was just scouted by hallucination. Big scout there from Skillus. He's aware that we're taking up and that we're saturating the 3rd base. The Ghost Academy shows us that we're still working on that next step, and there's no all-in. Meanwhile, the Dark Shrine is done, and we have a couple of DTs waddling in. When I say a couple, I mean 7. We have 2 DTs towards the left. We have 5 Dark Templar here towards the right-hand side. Ooh, being morphed into Archons, actually. Okay. Interesting. We're just fanning them out. Moving towards the natural. Main army going to be distracting Nickrat. Keeping attention on these Stalkers. On the front lines. GG's, they waddle in. They do waddle into natural base. SCVs are going to be going down. Quite a lot of them, actually. As we even get into the main base, turret's still on the way, dragging Nickrat out of position. We dive on top of the tanks. One tank goes down, and so will the second. Big force field here as we pull back, and the Colossus, they go ham on the army. Oh my god! The choke point is brutal. We get one Colossus. This is a good trade here for Skillus. Skillus going ham on this army. 35 SCVs go down. The Colossi, they barely do survive. GG gets called, and Skillus will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game 1 there out of Skillus. Able to take a lead in this series. And again, it's going to be on Nickrat to fight back here. I mean, the opener was okay. As we mentioned, like, the problem when you go for something like a committed mine drop like that, when you go for a quadruple mine drop twice, is that you need to make it worth it. You need to get damage done, and it was so unfortunate. It was so unlucky that Skillus happened to be opening up Robo. Like, the Robo opener completely shut down the potential of additional shots going off and gaining value over time. That was shut down, and with that, Skillus was able to get a pretty solid lead early on. Was able to look pretty comfortable, get into the goal base, and snowball out of control. And with that, it's game 1 in the books, but it's a best of 5. Best of 5, we can fight back. We can, of course, make our way through this and have a more back and forth. I want to believe that Nickrat, he can take maps, can make a series out of this. Also, welcome everyone in the chat. I do see Senju. Sí, ahí están. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Hope you're all doing well. 20 minutes and no one came first. Outrageous. We were just enjoying ourselves, but we were just... ahí está. We were enjoying the moment. As we're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Side Delta, we have our red Terran player representing Twisted Minds. It is Nickrat. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. Leading the series 1-0, it is Skillus. Skillus getting across the map very early on, disrupting the opener, forcing the racks a little bit further back. Interesting. With this SimCity, we could try to take advantage of it, definitely. We have seen that happen earlier against Hon Mono, earlier today, or yesterday for some people. Technically yesterday. It is over midnight. As it is over midnight here. And with this, what I'm referring to is that if we do go for additional depths early on, we could try to wreak some havoc here across the map, especially with the lack of SimCity in the main base. As Nickrat is going for an economic opener, he's going for a Rax into expand on the low ground. Very economic opener here from Nickrat. Just a stark contrast compared to the previous game, compared to game 1. Oh, Skillus. Being as annoying as possible, delaying by quite some time, throwing it down at 475. 475 minerals. So, very nice delay there from Skillus. Meanwhile, are going to be pulling back here with that SCV. Did confirm the opener. Depths are on the way. And Skillus, he's coming back in, but he runs into the Reaper. A little bit unfortunate there. This probe is going to be shut down by said Reaper. CC still on the way. There we go. Rack's going to be floating over, thankfully, walling off here at top of the ramp. A much more secure position. And, ooh, we are getting into a 3 racks. Okay. Second and third racks on the way here. So there'll be a 3 racks opener at a Nickrat. Do love to see it. Don't see this build too often. So basically we're going to be building up towards the stim timing. There's going to be a big stim push here from Nickrat. And this is ideal against a Stargate opener. But as we can see, the hard counter, 2 games in a row, Robo opener. I do like this. I do appreciate this from Skillus. every game so far, Robo Opener, and this is designed to hard counter 3 racks. And the reason why is because with a Robo Opener, this allows you to get into a fast Immortal and to a very fast Colossus. And one Colossus will shut down Master Marine so hard. And that's what we're working on. We're working on Master Marine. So Skillus is in a good position. He hasn't realized what's happening yet. He's aware of the reactor on the racks, but that is all that he has seen. Ooh, as he's going Prism first. Okay. Interesting. So he's going to be quite aggressive with this. Not just that, he can get some scanning information going for a Twilight counter behind this. This is a good thing. This is an okay thing for Nicarak. No Immortal, no Colossus, no Bay. But Skills is still going to be very active with this army, and he can slow down the Marines. He can chip away at them, can pick them up. Prism heading across the map. Stim and Combat Shields in production. Bunker on the low ground, and the Reaper does not find its way into the natural. And with this Prism, we're going to be able to confirm everything that Nicarak is doing, as we do dip into the main base and we do get eyes on both Raxes. The Marauders! Likewise, Marauders are exposed. One of them goes down, the other as well. Big pickoffs. Behind this, the third Nexus was delayed for Skillus. As we dive into the main, we want another Marauder. He wants it. Doesn't get it. Oh my god. Regardless, good trades nonetheless, getting 2 Marauders into SCVs. He also confirms, of course, the build of choice. And we do throw down some shield batteries. 2 shield batteries on the way. Safety Immortal as well. Because we invested into this Twilight Council, there's no Bay. We can't get into fast Colossus like we wanted to. But we will have an army nonetheless. Another Marauder goes down. Good control here out of Skillus. Getting a third Immortal. Sorry, getting a third Marauder. Speaking of, there's that Bay. So the Bay is going to be late. This means that the Colossus will not be ready for the first push. As the push is moving out across the map. We'll see if Skillus can survive. I mean, with sentries, we should be okay. Like, force fields on this ramp are brutal. Force fields just completely shut down any kind of aggression. Once again, the juggling looking good here from Skillus. Shutting down the Marines. Nicarak is committed. We need to make this worth our while. But we cannot push up this ramp. Not against 2 sentries. It's not going to happen. Nicarak rocks up. He confirms that there's no third. Another Marauder goes down. Oh, the juggling! Oh my god! Skillus! His army is so low, all 4 of those Stalkers in the red or in the orange, and they do manage to get out. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. And now Skillus can get to eat. Now he can take a third. Now the third base is on the way. Colossus production well underway as well. Skillus looking quite comfortable as Nicarak takes his own third. Now what I will say, the upside here is that this third base from Skillus is delayed. It is a delayed third because he was, you know, concerned about a dive, concerned about a committed push, and he was stuck on 2 bases. Other Marines. But because of that, he is going to be with a bit of a delayed production or delayed economy here. Just now long distance mining to make use of it. Probing on up. This army though, this army is what's terrifying. You have Colossus, Immortals, Sentries for force fields. Observer does get shut down. And the purpose here for Skillus, the roles have been reversed. The purpose here is to delay the third. We'll see if we can. It's a lot of Marauders. That is a lot of Marauders, actually. Nicarak, he has a comparable army. Fanning out his Marines. He's going to spot the location of the Colossi. And Nicarak going for the dive. Dives on forward. He will focus down one of those Immortals. Where's the Prism? Prism comes in, and the Colossus barely is saved. Oh my god, it will go down. But he got some extra swipes in. The Immortal's going to be going ham. Reinforcements are on the way, and it looks like Skillus, he should be forced back. Just barely. And Colossus comes in, but it's too little too late, and Nicarak will shut down this army. Not enough anti-air. The Colossus does survive at the same time. DT into the main. But we have detection. We have a turrets. We're still going to get some SCVs. Regardless, Nickrat, he does trade well. Looking at the trades here, he killed 2 Immortals, 2 DTs, Sentries, Stalkers, and a Colossus. A beautiful trade for Nickrat. And Skillus forced to back off. Again, he did overextend, did not respect the amount of Marauders that there were. Initially, the fight was looking okay, but very quickly, things did go south. Scan reveals saturation here at the 3rd. Drop play moving out. No! And it does come across the Stalkers! Full Meta goes down. Big pick off. Marauders are on the chase, they're on the hunt. They get a Stalker, they get 2. Well, not quite. But a very lucky catch there from Skillus. Yo, we got Shadow Stride on the way. Link for those DTs. Skill's gonna be pulling back. Destructive production commencing. But with 3 Colossi, we don't want to engage with this. As Nickrat, he does pull back. 4th base is on the way here for Skills. He still has that prism to harass across the map, and there we go. We have some Zealots, soon to be DTs warped in. And Skills is content to just stabilize here on 4 bases, to recover after losing so many Immortals and so many Colossi. Building up his Disruptors. 2nd Robo's on the way for double Disruptor production. 4th base getting saturated, long distance mining. This is still anyone's game. This Ghost Academy feels a little bit delayed here for Nickrat. It is on the way now, but yeah, for quite some time we haven't really been able to make use of it or get into Ghost production. 4th base should soon be taken as well. See what Nickrat has to offer. Oh, as he does run into the army. A couple of Marauders go down. Oh! Hello? No! Hatsu! Not like this. Yeah, we're still early in our broadcast, but it looks like we may have some latency issues here. Hopefully nothing too serious. Of course, Hatsu is one of the organizers of this event. She's going to be casting over on her own channel. Big shout out to Hatsu. Much love. But unfortunately, oh yeah, a bit of latency issues here, and hopefully she's able to join us in the rest of the tournament, in the rest of the games. We're able to like maybe restart our router, sort out any issues, and get back into this. I'm hoping at least. I am hoping. Also, thankfully, there's no big engagement happening at the moment. Like, the armies are posturing, that is true, but there's no big fight happening right now as... Yeah, we do get back into this.
Game paused.
Oh. Okay, yep, just making sure we're good.
Game resumed.
Yo, shout out to good guy Skillus, making sure Nickrat is ready. Let's go. As looking at the armies, what do we have? We have 8 Vikings. We're getting to Ghost production just now. 2 about to kick in. Nickrat has a pretty hefty army overall. But despite that, even though Nickrat is up 20 supply, don't let that deceive you. Disruptors. All it takes is 1, 2 good Novas, and Skillus, he can take a fight. Can take a fight here. We are going to be moving out. Likewise, Nickrat going to be pushing on forward as well. Sharking around, looking for those Colossi. He's got a lot of Vikings. Oh! That's going to be zoning him away. Nickrat has to be very careful with how he chases. Very careful. Rotate around. So far, good volleys here. 1 Colossus almost does get picked up. Very nicely done there by Nickrak. At the same time, Prism dives in, but it does get shut down. We have a couple of DTs mixed in, though. Dark Templar, they do fan out here towards the fringe bases. In the natural, they get cleaned up here at the third base. They're getting damage done. Nova's not going to be connecting. Nickrak rotating around. We saw 2 Novas. Up! No! Big connection. Late split there out of Nickrak. 14 SCVs go down to the DT harass. A surprising amount of damage. This entire mineral line going down. Skillus, though, out of position. Zone away from his own base. The Colossus are going to be falling. The Colossus, they go down. They get picked off. But what about the ground army? What about everything else here? The Zealots, the Stalkers, the Disruptors. Nickrak just rallying everything across the map. He smells blood in the water. But whose blood is it? Who is it? So we still have a lot of Disruptors available. A lot of Disruptors, a lot of Novas. Nickrak peeling off his army. I love this. Skillus, he is not in position here. He's not split up. Having a hard time splitting up his army. He's got a handful of Zealots here to defend, but that's not going to be enough. The Zealots are going to be going down, and this push is going to get damage done. At the same time, the mass DTs! Oh my god! Looks like this base is going to be falling. We do have a scan. Meanwhile, Dark Templar, they head over towards that natural. Main army's going to be clashing. Push in! The EMP! Mass Nova's gone, but we do connect! 2 big connections here on the army, and we force the army back. Big pick off here on the medevac as well. There's 2 units remaining. At the same time, this army on the right-hand side does take down the base. But the DTs, they do wreak havoc here. We do deny the third. Nickrak stuck on 2 mining bases. The Marines! Oh my god, the DTs, they can just fight head on. They're trading well for themselves. They get some Marauders, they get some Marines. Nickrak getting his third base back up and running. Amidst all this chaos though, Skillus is pushing out. Still has a couple of Disruptors in the back line. Up! Still has a couple of Novas. Still has 1 more left. Gonna be going up. So far, good fighting here from Nickrak. Does avoid the Novas. The overcharge has been popped. We can push in. Skillus, he can take a fight, but he's running out of Zealots. Oh. He's barely running out. Has a couple of DTs mixed in as well. They're putting in the work. The Disruptor does get trapped. We force back the army. We clean up those ghosts. At the same time, across the map, the DTs are still wreaking havoc. Dark Templar, Zealots. We deny any kind of mining here at the third base. And Nickrak, he is broke. He is out of money. He's run out of steam. Did cause a very chaotic game, but it's just not going to be enough. Oh god, we're coming back in. The DT getting another 2 SCVs before blinking away. And Skillus back at home, he's chilling. Like, sure, he may have lost a lot of his army, that's true, but he maintains his economy. This 4th base has been left untouched the entire time. On top of that, 5th is on the way as well. It's being replaced. Skillus on 70 probes. And he's remaxing on Colossus and Disruptors. Sure, we had many Vikings earlier, but the Viking count was reset. 0 Vikings remaining. The Colossi, once again, are relevant. Once again, they can reign supreme. Nickrak desperately trying to get the space up and running. He still has his main to lift if need be. Did double expand, but Skillus has arrived and he has just a little bit too much. He's breaking on through. Boys are being pulled into Colossi. You hate to see it. So we are just going ham here on this base. We have reinforcements on the way. Plenty of Zealots coming in as well. Nova goes off. GG gets called and Skillus will take game number 1. Oh, sorry, game number 2. GG. GG, well played. Whew. This was more of a back and forth though. I will say that basically when Skillus initially moved out, when he had lost his army, when he had lost his Colossus at the third base, that was the moment when Nickrak suddenly had momentum, was able to bring things back in his favor and did make a game out of it. Was able to make a series out of it, but alas, wasn't able to pull it off in the end. Did take a couple too many Novas to the face, and Couple too many bad trades. With that, Skills did recover, and Skills needs one more game to advance on to the grand finals. But again, I feel like that game showed us that Skills can bleed a little bit here. Like Nicorette, he can make some magic happen, he can cause chaos, he can cause opportunities for himself. I want to believe he can do it again. I want to believe he can go the distance here and make a series out of this and fight back. Let's go. I want to believe. As we're going to be loading in to Hecate into game 3. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have a red Terran player representing Twisted Minds down in the series, but looking to fight back, looking to cause a comeback here. It is Nicorette. Again, he needs to bring it back here and now to force that ace match, to have a chance to force the ace match. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Skillis. There we go. I want to believe that we can make a series out of this. Nicorette, he was so close. He was so close last game. We just have to do that again. As Skills going to be skirting around the edge of the map, I do appreciate this. Once again, he's going to be scouting for any kind of proxy locations, making sure that there is no cheese from his opponents. Meanwhile, every game this series, we have seen Skills go for a Robo Opener, and I would not be opposed to seeing another Robo Opener here in game number 3. If that's going to be the case, though, and if Nicorette does notice a trend, I would like to see him try to take advantage of his opponent, if that's the case. Again, Robo Openers are typically a very safe way to open up, and as a result, you can try to be a little bit greedier to oppose that. You can cut your own corners as well. We'll see. The SMG does dip in. It's going to be a Rax Cyber Expand. Standard opener here from Skillis. Likewise, Nicorette going for an economic opener himself. Rax into CC here from our Terran player. Let's go. This time Skillis wasn't able to disrupt the opener either. There's no probe scouts. Skillis is in the dark. I mean, there was a probe scout, but we were checking the kind of close by proxy locations. Less so scouting across the map. And this time we are not going for a 3-Rax, we're going into our factory. Okay. So traditionally, at least when it comes to meta play, this should be leading into winter mine production, into a starport, into a mine drop to get some scouting information. We'll see if Nicorette does spice it up a little bit more. Oh, he does dip in, does get a probe. Very nicely done. Probe does go down. Reaper trapped in the main base, gonna take the long way around. Should be able to escape though. Should be able to get away. As it is going to be forced back. Ooh, okay, not a winter mine opener. We are headed into Cyclones. We're going to a Cyclone shop. Something more modern. I appreciate it. Cyclone production has commenced. This starport should be for a medevac. Should be. See if we do kind of go into a different direction. Reaper goes back in. We'll bypass the army. Very nicely done. Nicorette, he does dive into the main base. Gets a full scout. Does confirm the Twilight Council on the way. Let's confirm it's going to be a Twilight Council, not a Stargate. Upon recognizing that, he knows he doesn't need to be in the mineral lines to defend against Oracles or Phoenixes that won't be there. Cyclone does pull back, and it's only a single Cyclone. Okay, never mind. I got excited. We're going straight into our add-ons. This looks like a fast tank opener here from Nicorette. Okay. Tank production has commenced. Behind this we get into, I was going to say Ravens, but no, we're going into Banshees. So, with this kind of setup here, Nicorette will have a pretty hefty army early on. Like, he's reactoring out Marines, really fast tank production, getting some Banshees in the mix as well. This can lead into a pretty terrifying 2-base push. can. Meanwhile, Skillus is trying to get his own scouting information, diving into the main. Hallucination goes in. And we will get eyes on the production and the tank as well. Very nice scout out of Skillus. He is aware. Charge already on the way. Oh, I just realized. Wait, what? I took it for granted. I assumed that it was going to be a Blink Stalker based opener, but no, it's Charge instead. We're pulling the boys. We're one base all in already here. Nickrak sending everything across the map. Skillus, he's here to force field the Ram, but he does. He does delay the push, but he just doesn't have enough firepower, though. Yeah, the Cyclone's going ham. Skillus in a lot of trouble. Dark Shrine on the way, but he's losing too much. Nickrak snowballing out of control, pushing towards the natural base. Force field gets thrown down. We do catch the Cyclone. Big pickup. Big pickup, but the Celts are going to get picked up as well. We have 2 gateways. That's all we have. No shield battery, no overcharge. A handful of Stalkers do remain. Good kiting here out of Skillus. Again, he can afford to lose workers. He can pull the boys. Can pull the boys if need be. And workers going to be evacuating here into the main base. So far, good kiting out of Skillus. He does have 2 more gateways here in the main. He's got 4 more gates in production. Skillus, he's in some trouble here. He can't spend his money. Be very careful with how he does trade. Couple more SCVs going down. The Dark Shrine is about to finish. We can get some DTs. But a scan is all we need. The charge looks like coming from behind. We get one of the tanks. One of the tanks does go down. Dark Shrine just now finishes. Where the Dark Templar? Is it enough? Do we have a scan? Yeah, he does spot that Dark Shrine. He's aware. A forced, a premature scan even. Ooh. Not like this. Another tank on the way. Good tank quality goes up on those Stalkers. GG gets called. It's too much. And Nickrak, he fights back with the 1 base all in and takes game number 3. GG. Whew. GG. Well played. Again, Nickrak catching his opponent off guard. Able to, yeah, just catch the sentries as well in the center of the map. I don't think that Skillus was really expecting that. I knew that we knew that there was a push coming. He was aware of the tank, but he wasn't aware of the boys being pulled. He wasn't aware of how committed it was, and he was caught out as a result. Pretty good. I was worried for a moment that I was gonna be left behind. We're back, Pappy. We're back. And just like that, we have a series, Pappy. We have a series. Did have to come from a 1 base all in, but a win is a win here, and we'll see if we can take that momentum even further and force an ace match. Game number 4 is going to be on Alcyone and Nickrak. I want to believe again. There's a lot of potential here on this map. There's a lot of proxy potential. We can take the gold base. We can make some magic happen. We shall see. There we go. Players are ready. We have all of our casters, and we're loading into game number 4. I'm just happy that there's no 3-0. I'll be honest. I don't want a 3-0 in either one of those matches. Give us everything you got. Ace matches, Bobby. Ace matches. Let's go. As we mentioned, game 4 on a much larger map on Alcyone. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Alcyone, we have the red Terran player putting a point on the board. Flashing back. Let's see if he can keep on fighting. As we have representing Twisted Minds, Nickrak. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. Still 1 game away from becoming, or from advancing on, into the grand finals. It is Skillus. Go. The boys are OP. They're OP, Poppy. I've never seen them lose. Just pull the boys. As Nickrak is going to be skirting around the edge of the map, does have a Rax back at home. We could opt to go for a second proxy racks, or this could just be an eBay block. And yeah, it looks like we are headed to that natural location. Probe does come across the SEV. Big scouts. Which means the eBay is not going to get up and running. Yeah, additional workers are being pulled. eBay gets thrown down, but Skillus is very quick to react. Again, so far a really good setup here by Nicaract. He gets a full surround on that eBay. Ooh, man, that's going to be a kill on the SCV. Oh, that should not have happened. And we force a cancel on the eBay itself. So a good cleanup there by Skillus. He's going to be able to expand on location. Nicaract forced into a bit of a different opener. Did go double gas, actually. Okay, I was not expecting this. Behind this, Nicaract going into a factory. Could go into a starport alongside it. Could be committed. There it is. Factory is on the way. Is on the way behind this. And Skills just getting into his own opener. Hasn't gone for any scout himself, no probe scouts. As a result, he won't know what's coming his way. So Reaper moves out, getting some map control, some scouting information himself. Nicaract would like to know what the opener is, whether it's a Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate. Needs to figure it out, and we can see it is a Stargate opener. Okay, Skillus mixing it up even further. We've had Robo-based openers. Last game we had a Twilight Council into charge lots. Here, of course, we have Stargate. As we are getting into reactor cyclones, I was curious what this extra gas was going to be for, and we can see reactor cyclones from Nicaract into the CC, into the command center. Well, meanwhile, good movement here out of Nicaract. Gets a probe. Gets a worker. Gets into the main. I believe hasn't seen the tech yet. What cyclones are going to be revealed. Ooh. Reaper is going to be forced out. Somehow the Adept does survive. I don't know how. Does somehow make it out alive. Phoenixes are amassing. And we are still just reacting out more Cyclones. Now, when do we stop? If at all? That's the question. Oh. The Cyclones, they do rock up across our shield battery. Still on the way. Just now finishing. Finishing up just in time. Good control there out of Skillus. Pulling out of range. He does hold. Does hold for the time being, as we are still just rallying more Cyclones across the map. We have 4, soon to be 6. Phoenixes are still amassing. Phoenixes are getting ready to dive on top of this as well. Still not pulling the trigger. Not yet. Phoenixes taking some extra hits. Another shield battery is on the way behind this. We're aware how vulnerable we are. Here comes that Robo. And Immortals will help a lot here in defense as well. As we're still just rallying. Behind this, we're getting into a 3-1-1 setup. 3 Raxes, 1 Factory, 1 Starport. And we have to stop Cyclones for now. Only going to be 6. Only 6 for Nicaract. And if there was another shield battery here, he could have pushed in. The shield battery does finish up. And Nicaract has to respect it. Does pull back in the end. Behind this, just settling into 2 bases. Building up his production. Nothing too crazy. I mean, sure, he has map control with all these Cyclones. There was potential for a dive, but again, with another shield battery with an overcharge, we're not taking that risk. And Skillus, he's opening up Phoenix Colossus. Very stock standard play. Phoenix into Immortals, into eventually Colossus production. Likewise, you can see Nicaract trying to catch these Phoenixes. Trying to come across them. Unable to, unfortunately. Does barely miss them. behind this. We're getting into a third base. Skills. So, I should also reiterate, with Phoenix Colossus, this is basically just a very defensive way to play. Very macro-oriented. We're just going to be staying here on 3 bases, soon getting a 4th base as well, getting up to 3 Colossi. By the time we get critical mass of Colossi, then we can be active. And then, of course, we can get into Disruptor production, second Robo, of course, into Blink Stalkers or Charge Lots. The Skillus is more than willing to embrace a longer game. And as we're on Alcyone, we do have a big defender's advantage here because of the ramp, because of the terrain in general. Likewise, long rest distance by ground. This map is known for its long late game. Its late game play. And Nicaract, is he one to embrace that as well? The question becomes, do we throw down 2 more Vaxes or a 3rd CC? It should be a 3rd CC. Should be soon on the way. All across the map, we're still just banking ourselves up. Again, relatively passive mid-game here as we're kind of building up towards 3-base economy. Skillus, he's just vying for map control. Nicaract knows he has map control, he's just stuck at home. And this I did not expect. Oh my god, we have +1 air attack on the way and a 2nd Stargate. +1 air attack was on the way, we did cancel it. But with a 2nd Stargate, we can do a couple of things. We can start working towards a fleet beacon and towards carriers. This is something that you can do on Alcyone, is just rush into Skytos. Yeah, there it is. +1 attack. It does start back up. No fleet beacon yet. My eyes are on Skillus. As here we go. We are pushing. 3rd CC's on the way behind this army. Speaking of, they're going to be clashing. Nicaract has quite a lot of army supply to work with here, but he is being slowed down. Skillus doing what he can here to try to force the siege. Couple of look-ons. Back pushing it. We have gone up to 3 Colossi though. That's a lot of Colossus. 3rd Stargate on the way. We're investing quite a lot into production here. We need an army. Aye, aye, aye. Again, being so greedy, working on that next step. Now, like, now we're getting a fleet beacon on the way, which I understand, but again, it feels late. It feels like this 3rd Stargate should have been a fleet beacon, or even the 2nd Stargate. Here, tanks force the siege. Nicaract pushing in. Skillus, he's so bold, getting him to 4 Colossus. Nicaract just encroaching upon the 3rd base. Leapfrogging forward, big tank volleys go off. Skillus losing a big chunk of his supply. And he's in trouble. No charge. Again, just cutting corners, rushing into Skytolls like this against this kind of army. Very slow, methodical play. Another tank has arrived. How many tanks do we have? We have 5 tanks. And now we have to commit. There's the overcharge. Tanks did overextend. Tanks going to be going down. The slow lots doing what they can to take those shots. Skillus barely holding on. He's on 5 Colossus. What is happening right now? 5 Colossus. We have Immortal production on the way. Just refusing to warp in gateway units. And he's going to be harassing across map. He gets an entire mineral line and he forces Nicaract back home. Skillus, he's getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with this. We have 3 carriers being produced at a time. Skillus was in so much trouble there, defending with the bare minimum. And he does it. He forces back the army, and Skillus, he's getting his 4th base up and running. It's fully saturated, making 3 carriers at a time. Like, this was such a slow transition into Skytos as well. Like, slowly getting to the 3rd Stargate before even the fleet beacon. Anion Pulse Crystals on the way, +2 air attack as well. And Skillus, he's done it. he survived. He was at death's door. He says, no, not today. Scanner reveals all the Colossi. Does not reveal the carriers. Oh, it's a classic carrier. Oh. What's that green stuff inside? Wait, what? I didn't even know. But we have not seen the Skytals. Not yet. We do have a 2nd Stargate on the way. He cancels. Okay, rebuilds. We have the second starport on the way to get into Vikings. I mean, upon seeing all these Colossus, then, I mean, we need Vikings. Which is also why I'm a little bit perplexed why we invested so much into this and not into Disruptors. But I guess we needed something. Go based on the way. Skillus is maxed out, by the way. Oh my god. He's maxed out on Skytoss. And of course a robo-based army. And here we go. After he survived the initial push of Nicarak, he is moving out, going for a massive counterattack. Scan does reveal. But just because he sees the carriers doesn't mean he can deal with them. So we're making as much anti-air as possible. We're going to need ghosts for EMPs. Skillus, he's looking for another way in. Mothership is on the way. Gateway explosion as well, just so we can reinforce. Charge finally in production as well, which will help. Nicarak going to be expanding, taking that fourth base. Skillus does have eyes on it. Can he punish it though? That's a lot of Marines. It is a lot of Marines. We can deal with the Interceptors. We can't deal with the Colossus. Regardless, Skillus going to be pulling back. Getting into additional charge lots. Go base still up and running. Skillus has a massive bank to work with. And Nicarak going for a run by. He is spotted. Do we have anything to defend? We're maxed out. We have to recall. There it is. We recall back home. Carriers have arrived. The Colossus, they're exposed. Massive pickoff here. 1, 2 go down. And soon to be a third. 3 Colossi for free, Papi. Very nice pickoff. Skillus going to be replacing those Colossi with more carriers. I would like either Disruptor or Storm. Like, Disruptors are ideal here to support this army. Because Disruptors, they don't get dealt with by Vikings. And they don't have to worry about EMP. So this feels a little bit stubborn here from Skillus. But, I mean, it's working, to be fair. We're still good. Speaking of, there's Storm. I mean, at least we have some other form of splash damage. It's better than nothing. Better than just Colossus. Storm is on the way. And 2 more Robos as well. Here we go. Nicarak moving out with a terrifying army. How many Vikings? We're on 18 Vikings here. 2 Vikings for every carrier. Is that enough? 3-3 on the way. Going to be rotating around, pushing towards this gold. We do get eyes on it. Good EMP. Does EMP the High Templar. Massive EMP on the carriers as well. Beast is going ham, but do we have enough anti-air? As every single piece is going to be going down. The carriers suddenly exposed. Where are the Stalkers? Where are the Archons? But we're running out of Vikings. Base does go down. We catch 7 probes. Skillus has to retreat, and there it is. Disruptors. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been lacking. Is a good way to deal with the ground army. Disruptors. So Skytoss plus Disruptor is kind of like the late game composition. It's what you want. When it comes to Skytoss, it's a vague term. Ideally, you do want a couple of Tempests to outrange your opponent. To outtrade your opponent as well. For now, though, we're committed to carrier. Oh, as we do, oh my god, we do go for the recall into the main. I didn't even notice the mothership as we dive into the main base with everything we have. And bearing in mind, we can always recall back home. We can always recall back home as we shut down the production. Storm is done. Duke Proclivor goes off. Big connection. Big connection on the army. Massive storms as well here on the medevacs, on everything else. And it looks like we have too much. Carriers are breaking through. The mothership is finally going to be going down, but there's just not enough anti-air. Not anymore. The storms are too good. The Novas are too good, and Skillus has done it. He's broken the army. with pure carry remaining. GG gets called. Good luck in the next round, and Skillus will be the first to advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Skillus just, again, able to rush into Skytoss unimpeded, and it was so risky as well. It was so risky for him to invest into all those Stargates, into the Fleet Beacon, into air attack in the middle of Nikrak's push, because that push was terrifying. It was scary. Like, he was breaking down that front door. He was almost pushing into the bases of Skillus, but Skillus, he barely held on with the bare minimum. He had no charge, no blink, no nothing. He had 5 Colossus, and it was enough. He held. He did hold. And after that hold, he was able to get away with Skytoss, able to get away with a superior army. There was a bit of a back and forth there, but that recall sealed the deal. Just catching Nikrak out of position, catching him on the ramp as well. So the Novas and the Storms were ideal. They were perfect there on top of that ramp. And GG. Congratulations. Congratulations as Skillus advances on into the grand finals. Did drop a map though. You know, did bleed a little bit here against Nikrak. And who will Skillus face off against? Who will go up against the man himself? Will it be the Ukrainian Protoss in Night Phoenix, or the Zerg player, Wayne? Wayne, aka Radita, aka Vanya, a man by many names. Bruce, let's go. I'm ready for it. Up next, Wayne versus Night Phoenix. Now, I believe our players are going to be conducting their vetoes. I believe they need a bit of time here to set things up. Oh, I spoke too soon. The vetoes are done. We're jumping in. I need to do predictions. Do need to get those predictions going though. As we're getting ready for a ZVP between Night Phoenix and Wayne. Oh boy. Again, Night Phoenix, he was able to... As we are getting ready here for our lower semifinals. Again, it's going to be another best of 5. And Night Phoenix, he was able to bring down Young Yakov, already one of the big Zerg players in the region. Can he do it again? Can he bring down the other? As, by all means, like, it should have been a Skillus versus Wayne finals or Skillus versus Young Yakov, but again, Young Yakov was eliminated by Night Phoenix. Can he go the distance? Can he go all the way? I do want to believe. As I will be setting up those predictions, and let's go. Let us go. You can hear the beeps. The vetoes are done. Lobby is made, and we are loading into game number 1. Gonna be on Oceanborn. Vámonos. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. They're going to be open for the next couple of minutes, so you can place your bets on who you think advances onto the grand finals to face off against Skillus. Will it be, again, the favorite player, Wayne, or the Dark Horse, the Dark Cat? Our yellow Protoss. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our yellow Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming. It is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. Let's go. Skillus must be nerfed. He's too good. He's pretty good. He's pretty good, not gonna lie. But we'll see how this does turn out here. Now, we have been casting a lot of Night Phoenix already tonight, and Wayne as well, to be fair. But if you remember, we were casting Night Phoenix in the quarterfinals, and he was very, very fond of Void Ray play, of Skytoss as well against his opponents, and that is not a bad kind of strategy to go for here on Oceanborn. Now, I wonder, was Wayne watching? Is Wayne aware? Just had to post something. As we are settling on into this here. So far, going to be getting into Arcade Expand, into a standard opener for the time being. Really, our eyes are on Night Phoenix for his tech of choice. And I imagine it's going to be a Stargate opener, but we'll see. Just because he was able to embrace Stargate play against young Yakov and bring him down, doesn't mean he can do the same against Wayne. They are different players, and Wayne is much more aggressive here in this matchup as well. He's much more willing to be in your face, much more willing to be knocking down your front door. Shout out to the Bob Toss. You. Oh my god, the predictions. No faith, Papi. No faith. Predictions heavily in favor of Wayne. I mean, personally, I mean, Wayne is the favorite player. Like 100%. Like, there's no doubting that. Oh, do delay the expansion. Wayne is the favorite player, but so was young Yakov. Is the thing, right? Like, so was young Yakov and Night Phoenix. I mean, he had his way with young Yakov. Had his way with him. Of course, Night Phoenix is a good friend of the channel. I want to believe that we can make a series out of this. Even if Wayne is the favorite player, I want to believe we can go all the way to the ace match. That's all I want. Regardless of how this goes. Here we go. As there it is, Void Ray opener once again. So this shouldn't really be a surprise. Again, if you were here earlier today, we were casting Night Phoenix versus young Yakov. Void Ray opener. Now this can go a couple of different ways, and there it is. It's going to be a Void Ray opener into Glaive Adepts. This worked wonders against young Yakov multiple times, but will it work against Wayne? Wayne setting up on 3 bases, going to be joining up as well. Link speed on the way. Everything looking normal for the time being. Did invest into a lot of links though, and he won't really be able to make use of them too much. Now the Overlord is outside of the bases here, outside of the natural. And this Void Ray is on the hunt. The goal here is to shut down the Overlord to make sure that Wayne doesn't know what comes next. And Night Phoenix, he's looking for that Overlord and he will come across it. Behind this, Night Phoenix should be expanding. Probe is moving out. I believe Night Phoenix hasn't seen these links. Now he does, and the probe is going to be shut down. A nice catch there from Wayne. We'll delay the expansion. Expansion is delayed. Void Ray is revealed. And we can now get the space up and running. Immediately, we throw down a very fast Roach one. We cancel. Uh-oh. The Roach one is cancelled. It looks like Wayne, he was expecting a Twilight Council opener. When he saw the Void Ray, he cancels it. He's going into an Evo Chamber, going to +1 melee. But he's been bamboozled because we do need the Roach one, because Glaive Adepts are coming. Ay, ay, ay. Wayne misreading the situation. Initially, he did, but is being fed misinformation. Is being bamboozled by this Void Ray. And what I will say is that you can defend without roaches, that is true, but that means we need Banelings. And we don't have any. We don't have a Baneliness, we don't have a Roach Warren, only Lings and Queens. So this is going to be a tough hold here for Wayne. Not impossible, but difficult. It's going to be a difficult one. We'll see if he is up to the task. Last layer is on the way. We'll be saturating our bases, producing as many Lings as we can. This is a 5-minute 14-ish Roach Warren. Very late, and here come the Adepts. Behind this, Mass Void Ray. Mass Void Ray is going to be on the way. Lings are amassing. That's a lot of Lings. And we do not commit, thankfully. Adepts say shade into the third base. Drones are going down. Lings, they try to go first round, and they will collapse on these Adepts. The shade was too late. The shade was far too late here. These Adepts, they will be shut down. We do manage to shade into the mineral lines, both into the main base and into the natural. But the Spine Cooler finishes up just in time. We are getting damage done, though. Void Ray pulls back. We get 10, soon to be 11, soon to be 12. 11 drones. 11 drones go down. That's okay. That's an okay amount of damage, but we needed more. Ideally, we had more. Now, actually, never mind. So, we killed 11 workers, but we also forced out some Spine Crawlers. We had a Spine Crawler in the main base. We had a Spine Crawler here at the Natural. This is also quite a big investment from Wayne. An investment that wasn't quite worth it. Night Phoenix, he's okay. He's coming out with more Adepts, catching some of these things as well, forcing a reaction. Roaches on the way, Hydras as well, as we are just amassing more Void Rays back at home. I do like the fast Hydra deck. Do appreciate the fast Hydras. As we do shade once again, 2 Adepts into that main base. Adepts into the main, Adepts into the third base, and once again, drones are going down. Really good target firing. Less so here, more so in the main base. As we get 12, 11, 11, 12, 13 drones go down. Ay, ay, ay. And Wayne, his economy is crippled. He's down to 50 drones. Barely an economy. He's going for a big counterattack, but he's going to be running into Mass Void. He runs into the Void Race. He does confirm at least. Again, Hydra upgrades are on the way behind this, but Night Phoenix is in control. Catches more Lings. And we're not done. He just keeps going. The Adepts, they don't stop. We have Void Race towards the natural, Adepts towards that third. There is no Spine Crawler here, but there are Roaches. We catch a Queen. Not quite. Meanwhile, we shade into the third base, and even though there are Roaches, we just focus down as many drones as we can. We get another 7. Another 8. Another 8 drones fall. And as we get into this, a big shout out to Luck in the chat as well. Thank you for subscribing for 10 months. Thank you, puppy. Thank you. As Night Phoenix will be moving out with his Void Rays back at home. We have plenty of Adepts to defend these things. They can do nothing. Nothing across the map. How many Hydras do we have? 6. 6 Hydras here at the third. Oh, this natural looking exposed. We're moving in with 5 Voids. Catch a Queen. Oh, oh. Queen does get picked up. Yeah, we can fight these Hydras as well. Oh, big overextension though. We trade a Queen and a Hydra for a Void Ray. Good trade for Wayne. Wayne, he does get a good pick up there, but the Adepts, they keep amassing. The Adepts, they don't stop. As some of these Lings, a handful of Adepts do shade across the map, but we have Hydras to defend. As we're working towards charge, working towards double Robo Colossus production. We're building up our Colossus count. Night Phoenix has been left perfectly fine back at home. His economy untouched. Could do with a 4th though. 4th is quite delayed here for Night Phoenix. As it is now on the way. We shade into the natural once again. A big overextension. These warriors are going to be going down. This is not worth it. We don't get the hatchery. 2 voids fall. Oh, but the drones. Oh my god. Maybe it was worth it. 14 workers go down. Ay, ay, ay. And the Voiders, they come back in. They want the hatchery. They're not going to get it. Oh, Night Phoenix getting too greedy. Far too greedy. Another 2 Void Rays fall. Night Phoenix has been doing well for himself, but every now and then has been overextending. 5 Void Rays have fallen already. We don't have the critical mass that we once did. And Wayne is recovering. He's redroning, resaturating his bases. Sure, he lost a lot of workers, but he's replacing them. Like, Night Phoenix is doing a great job here harassing with his Adepts. I do feel like that his Void Ray commitments have been lackluster. Like, multiple times now. It's been bleeding out a lot. As we're building up towards Colossus, we do have the Fleet Beacon. Going to be getting into carriers. Carrier production underway. Here we go, Wayne. He is amassing his army. He is maxing out here on Roach Ravager Hydra. Viper's in production as well. But we are pushing in. And Night Phoenix just barely has an army. Barely has anything less. Has Colossus, a handful of them. Has a couple of Void Rays. But the sheer amount of Hydras may just be too much. We catch the Void Rays out once again. Colossus, they're going to be going ham, but there's nothing to support here as the Colossus are so exposed. 1, 2, 3 of them go down. And Wayne, he has too much. He resets the army. He's going to pull back, but he just killed 4 Colossi. 4 Colossus for 21 Hydras. A worthwhile trade here for Wayne. A worthwhile trade. Behind this, Night Phoenix is stuck at home turtling. He's down 30-40 supply. Building up once again on Void Rays on carriers. Sorry, Void Rays on Colossus. No carriers yet. And we have Vipers. That's the thing. Like, Wayne, he has refined his army. getting drones. I mean, I have to give props to due with Knife Phoenix. He's been doing a great job harassing with the depths, but unfortunately that is not enough. We yoink in the Colossus. 1 goes down, 2, then 3. Every Colossus falls. We have a power bomb here on the Void Rays. Adepts are doing what they can. They're trading well here against those Hydras, but there's just not enough. The number is working against Knife Phoenix. I do feel like his 4th was quite late here, and yeah, losing those Void Rays earlier just made his army that much weaker. He's trying to hold on. Continuing to pump out as many Colossus as he can. We don't have detection, by the way. Oh, the Mothership pulling back. We're holding. We can fight this. As the Mothership pulls back to the safety of the overcharge. Knife Phoenix taking a pretty good trade here. A surprisingly good trade. Popping that cloak. Carriers on the way. Knife Phoenix, he has been able to maintain his economy. That's the important thing. His worker count has been looking solid. As we are pushing in. Here come the Viper. The Colossus. The Yoinks, they come in. Only 1 though. Only 1 is available. Mothership finally goes down. We pull back to the shield batteries, but again, it's not going to be enough. Another Colossus falls. Wayne does overextend for a moment. He's burning to his bank. And I'm chasing down some of these Hydras. Good pickups here by Knife Phoenix, and this is still up in the air here. The carrier count is slowly getting higher. Clutch warp in there at a Knife Phoenix. Does wall off. Does hold. Behind this, we're still committing here to Ling Hydra Viper. We're still just maxing out. Knife Phoenix, he has a moment to breathe, throwing down additional cannons, additional shield batteries, trying to muster up his defenses here. Where are the carriers? There we go. They have arrived. Carriers, they have arrived. And honestly, Knife Phoenix, he's close to stabilizing. He just needs 1 more fight to go his way. And then he can start building up his army once again. Yoinks are going to be coming in. We get a carrier. We get 2. Big pickups. Oh my, we get 1? Oh, that is not ideal. 1 carrier goes down. Knife Phoenix taking a good fight. But is he overextending? Yeah, he is. Does push a little bit too far out. Another carrier falls, but we have Cloak. We have no detection. We're able to take a better fight. Where are our Overseers? 0. There we go. We have 4 Overseers on the way. They are in production. Knife Phoenix is going to be pulling back. Adept's going to be shading over towards the right hand side. We do have some Spine Crawlers in position. And unfortunately, no High Temple. We have no counter to these abductions. Yeah, we shut them down. We have ducked almost everything here. Yeah, without High Templar, there's no feedbacks. No way to deal with that. We do have Adept shading in, but we have Spine Crawlers in position as well. 5th base is denied. And it looks like Knife Phoenix, he's on his last legs here. Wayne has finally done it. Resetting all the carriers and most of the Colossus. Overcharge not good enough. Impressive that Knife Phoenix has been able to hold on like this and has been able to, again, survive. But he's barely treading water. And for like the 3rd time, his army was reset. He has to build up his Colossus from scratch once again. The carriers, the motherships. And all Wayne has to do is just regather energy on his Vipers. Vipers are topping up. Lurkers are on the way. They do manage to find some damage here towards the left-hand side. Base is exposed. Roaches turn back around. Drones are being targeted once again. But here come the Lunkers. And here come the Yoinks as well. The abductions are just too good. Hydras, they stutter step forward here on top of the army. No more Colossi remaining. Barely anything left. And it looks like Wayne has finally done it. GG gets called. Wayne, he takes game number 1. GG. That was game 1, by the way. GG, well played. Oh my god. Again, a pretty intense game. Night Phoenix, he had his moments. I do think, though, that unfortunately he was a little bit too overzealous with his Void Rays at the start. He was doing great, like, with his Adepts. He was killing so many drones throughout the course of that entire game with his Adept Harass. But his transition into Colossus, his transition into Void Rays, his 4th base, all of that was lacking and did slow him down and did allow Wayne to gain, of course, quite a bit of momentum, quite an advantage. There were some moments where it looked like maybe Night Phoenix would be able to hold on and survive, and he was surviving, but never really living. Here we go. We're getting ready for game number 2. Game número 2. Here we go. There was some cheeky moves with the Mothership as well. I appreciated it. Did appreciate it. So we are loading on in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have our Ukrainian Protoss player, the yellow Protoss, representing hot-headed gaming. Down in this series, looking to fight back, it is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. Here we go. Yeah, it was a pretty intense game overall, and Night Phoenix, he definitely had his moments. He had his moments in that game, but just barely wasn't able to piece it all together. Wasn't able to bring it all together to have a solid mid game. Like, the mid game was a struggle for Night Phoenix. But we'll see. We'll see how he does adjust in game 2. Rope Scout going to be moving out. We're going to be faking a cannon rush. Let's go. We saw this against Young Yakov as well, where Young Yakov did not take the baits, and Wayne, he sends one drone to the low ground, so it's going to force a bit of inefficient mining, but only one drone. As we do cancel that pylon. Yeah, it's a bit of damage dealt, but not ideal. Night Phoenix, he was hoping for a little bit more. That's behind this, is getting into his gate expand. Cybercore on the way. Here we go. Zombies just don't work without High Templar. They struggle, yeah. The problem is, well, obviously the problem was that because of the rocky start from Night Phoenix, he was just never able to muster up a large enough army to transition tech-wise into High Templar. I'm sure it's something that he wanted. I'm sure that it's something that he would love to incorporate, but again, like, just time and time again, he had to just recommit and rebuild his Colossus over again, rebuild his carriers over again as well. Wayne was doing such a great job at just trading with the army and keeping the tech low. And stopping any kind of, again, tech transition into Storm, into High Templar, or the like. Until then, though, we're getting into our next game. It's a game number 2. Once again, a Stargate opener. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we go for another Void Ray. I wouldn't be opposed to even another Glaive Adept opener, to be honest. Like, again, winding it back, he killed so many drones that last game. Like, it was great. It was definitely something that he can maybe use to boost his confidence a little bit as well. Being aware that he can pull Wayne apart, can definitely try to pull apart his attention and his multitasking. As I say that, it's going to be an Oracle opener. Oracle first, Adepts, they do recall back home. Just in time to avoid that blink speed. As we recall Ling, the Lings are going to be moving out across the map. Wayne are going to be looking to delay that 3rd base for as long as he can. Contain Night Phoenix to 2 bases. At least until the Oracles pop out. we have a safety shield battery behind this. First Oracle has arrived. Second Oracle is on the way. Now, winding it back, if you remember the series against Young Yakov, Night Phoenix also went for Mass Oracle one of those games. He went double Stargate Mass Oracle. As there's another Twilight Council. Okay. I appreciate this. Oracle gets across the map. Ooh, takes a lot of damage though by the Spore. Ooh, getting one more drone. 2 in total. That's a lot of damage being dealt. But I like this. So this looks like a standard game. This looks like a standard opener. Oracle into a third base. Lings are being cleaned up. Third soon to be taken. But behind this, that cheeky glaives. Cheeky glaive at Eps here. The downside is that this Overlord is going in for a scout. The Overlord is going for a dive. We need to shut down this Overlord. We need to stop it from scouting. As the Twilight Council is done, and it looks like we have charge on the way, and we are continuing that Oracle production. Gateway's being thrown down. Ooh, the Overlord doesn't go further in, actually. Interesting. Meanwhile, Night Phoenix getting across the map as well. The Queens are in position, though. The Oracles won't find any more damage. It's going to be, I believe, 6 gates in total. So 6 gate charge as a follow-up. Did we cast Night Phoenix where he went for a fake third base and went for a charge all-in? I want to say that occurred. Over the weekend. As Oracles move out and Lings, they do come in. Again, we are continuing Oracle production. So it's going to be charge ults and mass Oracle from Night Phoenix. Did a variation of this against Young Yakov. How many Oracles? We have soon to be 4. I imagine we're going to be pushing with 5 or 6. As the Reps, they're going to be shut down. They do get surrounded. Yeah, rough loss there for Night Phoenix. As he is going to be shut down. Charge is done. We're coming in a little bit too soon, though. We're going straight for the base. We're going straight for the hatchery. And the hatchery is going to be cancelled. Up, up. Oh, that's a kill. No, sure, that's a kill, not a cancel. This LSA Jaw arrived to reinforce. The Ling's going to be going down. We go straight for the Queens. So far, good control here from Night Phoenix. Does pull back, but one Phoenix goes down. Sorry, one Oracle goes down. So does another. The Chargers, they want the Queens. They will not get them. They barely will. A decent trade from Night Phoenix. Again, 300 minerals down the drain. But he lost 2 Oracles. That was brutal. We need to keep the Oracle count high. Again, without Oracles, how do we deal with all these Lings? Zealots on the way. Second Stargate. Fleet Beacon in production for Skytoss. Chargers, they come across another base. This time it canceled, thankfully. We do force a cancel. Lings are forced back. They are forced back home. And Night Phoenix, he has the freedom he needs to get into Skytoss. For now. Meanwhile, we're going Ling Hydra. You don't see this too often, but Ling Hydra is going to work very well here against the Oracles. And the would-be Skytoss. Mothership is on the way. Hydras have been revealed. And I'm curious where Night Phoenix goes with this. He's aware of the Hydras, and he is going for carriers. Okay. Rushing into carriers. Big Zealot counters here towards the natural. Oracles, they do dive on that would-be 4th. Zealots are being cleaned up. They get stuck here in the mineral lines. We're getting a lot of damage done, but I don't think we have the DPS for this. It's going to be close. Up, up, up. We do force a cancel, just barely. Over and over again, we deny the 4th base, containing Wayne here to 3-base economy. But can we survive the counterattack? Can we survive the push? Banelings are on the way. Hydras are amassing. We have what to defend? We have a handful of units. Zealots, a Void Ray, a couple of Oracles. Shield batteries are in production. Baneling's going to be rolling in. I think we're just too greedy. I think even with the mothership. Here we go. here we go. The Lingbane Hydra has arrived. We do have a cloak to activate our cloak. Can force us back for a moment. I feel like we can still commit though. Overlord speed now on the way for that detection. Overseer's coming in. We are collapsing this position. The carriers arrive just in time. It's going to be a tight hold here for Night Phoenix. Slow zone is thrown down. Just the concave is insane. And we are just stutter stepping forward. It looks like there's just too much. Without any splash damage, there's no way to get away with this. No way to deal with the Hydras. Yes, we are breaking in. There's just nothing left here on the ground. Night Phoenix being forced further and further back. The Bailings, they crash into the sentries. And there's just nothing remaining here. We have detection. Cloak is not good enough. GG gets called, and Wayne will take game number 2. GG. GG, well played. Once again, Night Phoenix had an interesting start. He was able to achieve quite a lot. Killed some queens, killed a hatchery, denied bases. But doing all of this and rushing into Skytoss, as we can see, it's being punished. It's being punished quite hard by Wayne. Trying to race our way into carrier production, it's just not really working out here. We can't get away with it. At least not against Wayne. Again, a much more sensible transition from here is like getting into Blink Stalkers, Immortals, Colossus even will be a little bit faster. A little bit safer. But I guess that also goes to show that Night Phoenix, he's aware that against Wayne, he has to cut corners, and even if it's risky, like if he gets away with it, then that's how he wins. But we'll see. We'll see if we can pull it off. Because we're on match point. We are on match point. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Ukrainian Protoss player. The yellow Protoss representing Hot-Headed Gaming. Down in this series, he has to fight back here and now to have a chance at forcing the ace match. It is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player, representing Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 2-0. It is Wayne. Here we go. We do force the unnatural, natural hero of Night Phoenix. We have been mixing it up. That's what's important here. Game 1 was Void Ray into Glaive Adepts. Game 2 was Mass Oracle into Charge. What do we whip out here in Game 3? What else did we see Night Phoenix do against Young Yakov? We saw a Twilight Council opener into straight up Glaive Adepts. That did occur at one point. That's what we've seen. I wouldn't be opposed to going double Stargate Void Ray either, even as an opener. We shall see. We shall see how we get there. So now he's going to be pulling back. Pulling back. Just going to be confirming the opener, making sure there's no early gas, no early spawning pool, making sure that Wayne is playing standard, and that he does have an expansion. And I think he's just kind of checking everything on his opponent. Well, based on our pylon location, looks like a Stargate opener from our yellow Protoss. With that, we can go into Oracles, go into Void Rays. Alright, he went Mass Phoenix that one game. True. Did it go Mass Phoenix against Young Yakov? Yeah, it would make sense if we see that again here. Now they're going to be avoiding those lings. Oh, they have arrived, and this sword base is going to be delayed a little bit here by Night Phoenix, but it should be on the way without too much issue. Oh, does not get the pylon. The hatchery is thrown down. So overall, nice handling of the situation by Wayne. Does clean everything up. as it is in fact going to be the Stargate. Stargate into Oracle, as to be expected. But what comes afterwards? Here we go. We have Adepts going to be threading a shade towards the main. We have our Oracles on the way. And we've seen a lot of aggression out of Night Phoenix, but do we finally get a standard opener? Oh! As we do come into the shade, workers are going to be going down. We got 3. We got the 4, and even a 5th drone. 6 drones. Oh my god, wait, what? 6 drones for 2 Adepts. This is a great trade here for Night Phoenix. Back at home, though, we do force a counterattack. Lings, they're going to be moving out, heading towards that 3rd base. But the Oracle is in position. We will defend. Lings, they do rock up once again here. The Oracle doesn't have enough. And no show. Do we force a cancel? The base is going to be cancelled. Even though Night Phoenix, he did so much damage across the map. He did beautifully with his Adepts. Is going to be cancelling that 3rd. And Wayne, he's in control. Behind this, Night Phoenix going for a 2-base all-in. We go for a big gateway explosion. Robot on the way. Twilight Council as well. All or nothing. 6 gateways here for Night Phoenix. Did I say 6? 7? 8? 8 gate all in. It's all or nothing. I don't think this was the initial plan, but it is now what we have to work with. So it's gonna be an 8 gate charge all in. Wayne getting ready back at home, not fully aware of what's going on. Hasn't been able to scout much of anything, which is concerning. 3rd base soon to be taken, and we are going for Banelings, which is... It's okay. Banelings can be useful here in the defense, but we do still need Roaches. And we've reached the 5-minute mark. No Roach Warren. No. No Roach Warren in sight. It's going to be a tight defense here for Wayne. Seeing chat, someone asking, is it going to be a patch before the tournament? Nope. No patch before the tournament. No map pool before the tournament. I mean, what do you mean? We've had this map pool for like, what, 4 months? 3 months? We got it in like beginning of October. So October, yeah, like just under 4 months. It's too soon to be asking for a new map pool. Aye. Give us at least half a year, but. And a new patch as well. Like it's only a couple of months old. Here we go. The all-in has arrived. We have a massive amount of Zealots. Border pushing in Oracle as well. We do have some Banelings. Banelings, they're looking for some connections. Decent connections here on the Zealots. Good stasis trap though. But there's just too much on the ground. The Banelings, they will connect. And juicy connections on those Zealots. The Queens come in and Night Phoenix is being swatted away. At the same time, we get a couple of Zealots here in the main, but likewise they get cleaned up. We are reinforcing. We are going to be reinforcing. We do see Night Phoenix, he's slowly breaking through. Getting on top of the Queens. But we have plenty of reinforcements, and we are cleaning this up. Night Phoenix, not enough momentum. Void Ray goes down, and we surround whatever is left. And that's going to be all we had left here. GG gets called. Good luck in the next round, and Wayne will take the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Big shout to Wayne here for winning the series 3-0. Very impressive performance. There were moments definitely where Night Phoenix was looking good, but just wasn't enough to get a win in the end. A shout out to Night Phoenix though, did make a series out of it. I know it was a 3-0, but again, outside of this last game, wasn't the most one-sided of series or games. I don't know if that really does it justice, especially game 1. Game 1 was pretty tense. Game 1 was pretty intense, and maybe the best showing that Night Phoenix had in this series. Game 2 and Game 3, a little bit less so. From here, though, congratulations to Wayne. He advances on to the grand finals, and we have our finalists confirmed. We have them confirmed. Earlier, we casted the upper semifinals. Skillus was able to bring down Nicaract 3-1. Did drop a map, but did advance on. And now Wayne advances on to face off against him. Wayne versus Skillus will be the grand finals to crown our Christmas Cup champion. Let's go. Who will it be? Wayne and Skillus. They did come into this tournament as the favored players, that is true, from the very beginning. And no one could stop them from meeting in the finals. It had to be. There was only one real finals here. There was only one chance, only one option. Wayne versus Skillus. Let's go. Let us go. Vetoes are underway, and we will soon be diving into this. Now, before we do, again, I want to give a big shout out to some of the organizers of this event as well. I want to give a shout out to Hatsu. Hatsu is casting over on her own channel. Bratok as well. Bratok, a big part of this tournament, a big part of this event as well. Also casting over on his channel. Did give him a raid yesterday. As well as Nickrat. Nickrat, who competed, of course, Nickrat, who competed and who was a part of the semifinals. So really cool to see. Really cool to see Nickrat a part of that. So yeah, they were the organizers of the event. We have plenty of sponsors as well. When I say sponsors, I mean people in a part of the community. They did donate to boost the prize pool. Was beautiful. GG. GG. And yeah, it's been really cool to see this event kind of being run for the entire month. We didn't cast all of it. We only focused on the later rounds. But I mentioned before that this event, there was a bronze to silver portion. There was like a diamond edition, a platinum edition, a masters edition as well. We were busy casting WTL at the time, so we couldn't cover everything. But Bratok, Hatsu, and Nickrat and MindoVK, they were all casting it on their own channels. And yeah, really cool to see that they made events for some of the lower leagues just for the end of the year, for Christmas Cup. That's the point, you know, just like kind of a big end of year celebration for everyone involved. And there was a lot of participation. Like even when we started casting, we casted around a 64 GMs were a part of this tournament a couple of days ago, and we've been just working our way through them, cutting away at all of our players. And yeah, it's been great. It's been a great time, been a lot of fun. It's been a little bit taxing, not gonna lie. These back-to-back broadcasts. I was looking at our calendar and I was like, "Yo, can I finally like get like at least 8 hours sleep tomorrow? Is that happening?" And I looked at the guy and said, "No, no." Because tomorrow, Masters Coliseum comes back. Tomorrow we have ESL Open Cup Asia into Masters Coliseum. We have ESL Open Cup Americas, Masters Coliseum for the entire week as well. We have the Ducklings Showdown. We have our house event over the weekend as well. That's a lot. Is a lot going on. If you're curious, there's the House Galactic Battle, which is a Polish LAN happening on Saturday, which we're also going to be casting. Going to be the main English stream for that Polish event. And then I've said this a couple of times, but to announce once again, next week, it's in a week. Oh my god, I'm not ready. In a week's time, in just over a week's time, I'm gonna be hopping on a plane and we're gonna be flying over to Poland. I'm gonna be flying to Poland, and I'll be there at IM Katowice. A little bit nervous. I still have to like reach out and figure out like who's gonna be there. I'd love to like, you know, interact with some other community members, even like other casters and other players as well. Gonna be a lot of fun. So I have to reach out and figure out who's there. Otherwise, I'll just hang out with the Net Wars guys, I guess. It's a little bit intimidating, not gonna lie. The Net Wars guys, they are the like the StarCraft like fan group situated in Poland, and they'll take care of me. They'll take care. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But yeah, that's happening next week. Gonna be heading on over to be a part of an offline event for the first time. Because I live here in Australia, we just don't really get any. I've been to IM Sydney, but IM Sydney StarCraft was not on the main stage. It was off to the side. It was like there was like a side stage just for StarCraft, which was fun. It was great, but yeah, I've never been like in a place like a DreamHack or an IM that has StarCraft as like the main focus, or BlizzCon or anything like that, or Home Story Cup. Again, here in Australia, we're pretty separated from everything. We have our own lands. You know, we've had like BrizzCraft or Ozcraft, ANZ Champs that we do host. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Gonna be exciting experience. I'm a little bit concerned about the weather. I know it's quite cold in Poland, and here in Australia it's summer. By the way, it's very hot here in Australia right now. We have a A very hot Christmas is how we typically celebrate. But it's gonna be very cold over in Europe, so hopefully we survive. We don't die from like climate shock from the temperature changing and shifting too rapidly. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's like a 32-hour journey as well. That's also a little bit daunting. I'm gonna be traveling for 32 hours. Let's go. Fun fact, that's gonna be like my day off, I guess. Fun fact, we casted every single day. The last time we had a day off from casting was December 1st. Fun fact. The only reason why we didn't cast December 1st was because that was Home Story Cup and we didn't want to go over them. So I think December 1st was our last day off. Actually, I think we had a day off on December 15th as well, because that was day one of ESL Masters Winter DreamHack Atlanta. No, but we casted that day. Never mind. Never mind, we casted that day. So our last day off was December 1st. No, sorry, Christmas Eve. We had Christmas Eve off. True. It's been a while. We had 2 days off in December. How dare we? We had 2 days off in December. We had no days off in November. No days off in December. I think before that, it was September. That's when we had some days off. I was casting every single day, and yeah, that's what I'm most anxious about. During the journey, I won't be able to cast, and we actually have some pretty important events when I'm traveling. The Club NV Ducklings Showdown, that's the big one, and so I'm going to be missing that. I'm going to be missing ESL Open Cup Americas, unfortunately. So those two events I will be missing due to travel. Smurge, which is sad. I really want to cast. Really want to cast them. It's okay. I do plan on, because of course I am. I do plan on casting that week of ESL Open Cup Americas. I'll be casting via replays on Thursday, February 1st. Yeah, exciting stuff. It's a poll, Andrew. But what's the other event? All right, there's gonna be DreamHack Dallas, right, later on in the year. But yeah. So exciting times here for the Ducklings. I won't be casting at IM KDV, so I'm gonna be there as a viewer. Unless they want to drag me onto cast, which I doubt would happen. But we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Until then, though, we're going to be going on a short break. Sorry, I was rambling just because we were told our players want a couple of minutes here to themselves. We are going to be going on a break for around 5 minutes, and we're going to be getting ready for the grand finals. Predictions will be set up as well. So look forward to it. It's going to be a best of seven grand finals between Wayne and Skillis. Let's go. Let us go. So yeah, we're going to be going on a short 5-minute break. When we return, we got you covered with a best of 7 PVZ. See you then. See you then. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. I hope you enjoyed that brutal OST, because we have returned with the grand finals of the Christmas Cup. Oh, I should... we have returned with the grand finals of the Christmas Cup. It all ends here. It all ends in this final best of 7. We had hundreds of players as a part of this event, and now we are down to only 2. Only 2 do remain. Hold on, I'm just fixing the in-game name. There we go. The finals. Oh, we are here. I should also change the Twitch title as well. Un momento. As we are diving on in and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Goldenrod, we have the Red Zerg player. The Red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. It's a best of 7. A lot of games are before us. Vetoes were done. Lobbies have been made. Good luck. Good luck with those predictions, as this could go either way. As we start off with a proxy hatch. Let's go. The hatch block is here. Boys are being pulled, forcing a lot of lost mine time. This is not aggressive. This is not all in. This is just designed to disrupt the economy, and we are disrupting the economy. Ah, let's go. Behind this, Wayne going for a hatch into gas into pool, so a delayed spawning pool. Skillus does confirm. He knows that there's no rush coming, and we do cancel just in time. We morph in the Evo chamber. We delay even further. Quick moves there out of Wayne. Trying to keep this expansion as delayed as possible, as we should force cancel up. Oh god, do cancel just in time. Whew. And Wayne once again doubling back in, going to try and delay even further here with this drone being as annoying as possible. As Skills can go back to mining. And you can see here the economy deep in the red, deep in favor of Wayne. Thanks to, of course, that proxy hatch, or the hatch block, I should say. Drone does go down, unfortunately. Wasn't able to get into the main base, wasn't able to gas steal. And we're getting into our openers. We're going to be settling back into this, into game 1. And what a way to start it off. Again, Wayne, he was just disrupting the opener, being like, yeah, how do you like it? How do you like having your natural base delayed like this, huh? Este Protoss. As Wayne was able to take his own natural base, get it up and running. Third is on the way. Link speed as well. We do pull out of gas just for link speed, and we're going to be just focusing on droning and producing queens. We're going to be settling into Goldenrod. Talking a little bit about the map. The map itself is quite short, very short rush distance by ground. You can be quite aggressive as well. As a result, things like Twilight Council opener would not be too surprising, but we can see that Skillus, as he gets into main, gets 1 drone kill, and is soon not going to get a second. But we do have I was going to say a Spire, a Stargate on the way. As you know, say shade into the natural. I wonder, was Skillus watching, by the way? Did he see Night Phoenix have his way with Wayne when it came to a depth harass? Because once again, 3 drones go down. Pretty good damage dealt here by Skillus. Good damage. Once again, we do threaten another shade. It's going to be a Void Ray opener. Oh my. Okay, I'm curious. I am very curious, actually, if Skills was watching. I know that he said before that he likes us. Wonder if he was lunking in the chat or not. As the Void Ray is going to be coming out, shutting down this Overlord, and we'll be hiding the follow-up. And what will the follow-up be? This could just be a double Stargate Void Ray. Could be Glaive Adepts, could be a charge all-in, or it could be a third base with Oracles behind it. There we go. Oracle is on the way. Void Ray going to be shutting down this Overlord, and Wayne is going to be in the dark. He will have no idea what exactly comes out next here for Skillus. Back at home, going to be joining, saturating the bases. Lings are going to be moving out. The goal here is to delay the third base for as long as we can, and the third is soon to be taken. Lings are on the way, though. They're on the hunt. They want that third. Void Ray going to be coming in. Lings, likewise, will be slipping in from behind. And they do get eyes on the Nexus, and they should be forcing a cancel. Yeah, we get a surround. We have too much DPS. A Void Ray cannot stop it, and the base will be cancelled. Behind this, though, I'd say Shaden again. We get 2 drones. We get 3. 3 workers do go down. Not bad here. Good counter damage done by Skillus. At the same time, Oracle going to be coming in towards that third base. Spore is done. But we get a drone nonetheless. Meanwhile, we make another wave of Lings. Once again, we're looking for another cancel. No tech. standard follow-up. Okay, despite the void ray opening, we do have an opening into the natural. The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the main base. They flood into the natural as well. And we get eyes on the follow-up on the Twilight Council and the Forge. Big scout there from Wayne. He will be cleaned up, but he gets 5 probe kills to make up for the Adept Harass earlier. Look at the Unisol stat here. 5 workers went down for 8 drones. Good counter damage. And again, we confirm that there's nothing crazy going on. There's no Glaive Adepts. There's no big kind of all-in coming. Should be +1 and Blink, or +1 and Charge. And there it is. +1 and Charge on the way. But overall, a standard follow-up. Meanwhile, Skillus, he wants to reciprocate. Wants to reciprocate that damage, moving out with the Adepts. As we head into that natural base. And that's a lot of Adepts, and we don't have enough Lings. Oh, ay. Wayne has no way to deal with this many Adepts here as we do deny mining at the natural base, shading in towards the main. Oracle coming in from behind, looking for damage done here at the third base. Goes to the Stasis Trap. Oh, it's gonna finish. Not quite. Doesn't finish in time. Adepts are cleaned up, but we get 4 more drone kills, and this is adding up. 12 in total. This is just slowly adding up over time. Behind this, skill is not just working towards Charge. We have a Gateway Explosion going towards Storm. I just need some. As Lings, they get here just in time. We do have an Adept in position. The boys are being pulled. The Adept does barely go down. But it looks like we will maintain control of our natural. 2 probes do get picked off, but Wayne has to retreat. Ooh, and he's going to Aspire behind this. Okay. Aspire is on the way. Oracle coming in towards that natural, getting a couple of drones. 2 workers go down, but that's a lot of damage dealt. Meanwhile, we did not scout at the main base. We did not get eyes on the Spire. Skillus is in the dark. Despite having the Oracle, he goes for the Revelation, and he will get eyes. He's aware of the potential for Mutas. He sees, he knows. Storm about to finish up. Archon's on the way. Archons, High Templar, Storm, Chargelots. And Phoenix production has commenced. We already had that Stargate, so a great scout so far here from Skillus. The game is going to be settling down for a moment. The game will settle. Skills taking another base. Wayne, how hard do we commit? That's the question. He knows he got scouted. He saw the Revelation. It was all over his main. How many mutas? 6 mutas is going to be enough to one-shot workers, to harass. Do we double down? There we go. 7 mutas on the way. Just enough to, again, harass. It's not going to be a big commitment here from Wayne, and it shouldn't be. Just because he got scouted, he has to respect his opponent, respect Skills' ability to react. Interesting. Okay, we're going 7 mutas into a Hydra Den. Okay. Interesting. It's going to be Ling Hydra. +1 range on the way. I'll say Ling Hydra. It's going to be Ling Roach Hydra. It's our ground army. Skills moving out preemptively. Does catch a muta. Doesn't quite get it. Needs to take control of the Zonaga. Take control of the Zonaga as Roaches, they do push on forward. We want the High Templar. We're going to get them. 1, 2, 3, 4 High Templar go down. Massive pickups here from Wayne. Gets the Archon as well. Skillus, I mean, he was being so adventurous out here. I was like, what, are we really pushing with a handful of units? And he gets punished for it. Every High Templar goes down. And the mutas, they survive. As they rotate into the main base, Phoenix is in position. Cannon as well. These mutas, they will be shut down. They get a handful of workers here. 4 probes in total. We got 5. Every single muta does fall. But that's okay because it's not about the mutas. Not anymore. They paid for themselves. They traded with High Templar. Now we have Hydras on the way. Hydras are in production. Do bow down the shield battery, the cannon. Hydras are amassing back at home. We're pushing in. Do you have some High Templar though? Do you have a Storm? We do. Storms here on the Roaches. 2 Storms even. We have 2 left. We have 2 Storms remaining as the Hydras rock up. Wayne trying to make a stand here, but the Zealots are just too strong. They barely broke through. There's only a handful of Hydras left. Oh, the High Templar, once again, we overextend. High Templar forced to morph into Archons. And Wayne, he's snowballing out of control. His economy has been left untouched. He's on 85 workers. He's on 5 bases. And we are amassing nothing but Ling, Roach, Hydra. And without High Templar, without Storm, how do we defend? How do we hold? We don't. This gateway going to be going down. We can bust into the 3rd base. We have a handful of Immortals. We have an Archon. We have an Overcharge and a Dream. High Templar coming in, but they need more time. It's going to be 6 High Templar. No Storms are available, but that is enough to force back the army. And we need a couple more seconds. Energy is amassing. Oh! We better have one. We are so close. Roaches, they push on forward. They shut down the High Templar one after the other. There's a Storm, but every High Templar goes down. There's one left. No energy remaining. And it looks like Wayne, he has done it. He has broken through. There are 3 Immortals. Now 2 Immortals. Soon to be 1 as we dive into the natural. Up, he wants it. Won't get it. Skilless, can we hold? Can we survive? Can we somehow pull this off? Again, the Immortals doing quite well for themselves, but the Immortal in the natural goes down. We have 1 left here at the 3rd base. Hydras are so fragile, but they barely do get on top of that final Immortal. Overcharge, not going to be good enough. And we have broken the army. As I say that, we have reinforcements. Up! The Zealots from behind. Again, it's just not going to be enough here. 8 workers have fallen. We do get a big warp in, actually. There's potential. There is potential. Good stutter stepping here from Wayne, pulling back those Hydras. Using the Roaches just a tank. And he will not be surrounded. Not here, not now. And GG is going to get called. Wayne, he barely breaks through. And he will be taking a 1-0 lead in the Grand Finals. GG. GG again. Multiple times here in this game, Wayne, he was barely able to get in and snipe those High Templar before they could really do any damage to the Hydras. There was so much potential for Storm. There were so many Storms available, especially initially, but we never got to see a single Storm on a Hydra, only on Roaches, and they were typically forced out from Skilless. So a very proactive style, very opportunistic style out of Wayne did manage to come out on top. It's so risky though, again, like imagine if he dove in and he didn't get the High Templar, didn't snipe them, didn't force out the Storms, then that's a different story. Different game. Here we go, we're getting into game number 2. Número 2. Here we go. Use my phone for Honkai Star Rail. Proud sponsor of Master Colossum 7. True. I didn't even know it was a phone game. I know nothing about Honkai Star. Shaking my head. But it's really cool. It's really cool they sponsor StarCraft. As we're getting into game number 2. Again, that was a pretty intense game 1, but on top of that, bringing it back to the map itself, because it's Golden Aura, short rushes is by ground, we're able to see Wayne just gain a lot of momentum and very quickly capitalize on that. Gonna be a little bit harder to pull that off on some of these larger maps. Maps like Alcyone, maps like Razz Station if we get there, and potentially maps like this, Solaris. Solaris is coming up next. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have our red Zerg player leading the series 1-0. Representing Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the blue Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, it is Skilless. There we go. As this time, there is no drone across the map, there is no hatch block. Skills can comfortably get into expansion, comfortably get into the early game. As he gets across the map, he will force the unnatural natural out of Wayne. And as opposed to the previous game, again, everything is looking a little bit more normal, looking a little bit more sane. There's no crazy hatch block, there's no crazy aggression either. Just gonna be droning, just gonna be easing into this. Just gonna be easing on in. So there we go, hatch gas spool opener here out of Wayne. Likewise across the map, Skillous getting into his own gate expand as well. Now, as we load into Solaris, it's an interesting map. There are a lot of bases to be taken. It is a little bit more spread out, though. A little bit more wide open, where you can be pulled apart. You can find some opportunities when pushing in towards a 5th or 6th base. But overall, on 4 bases, you can fortify yourself quite well with all these ramps, with all of this high ground and points of elevation. There are speed zones, of course. That is something to bear in mind. There are speed zones in the center of the map, and they can actually influence some of these fights and some of these small skirmishes and engagements. That is true. But we'll see what direction our players want to go in. Especially Skillous. I feel like Skillous was initially coming in with a plan in game 1, but very quickly things got out of hand and things got very chaotic and just wasn't able to really have that come to fruition. So show us what you got, as we once again get a Stargate opener. Now, as a reminder, last game we had Skillous going for a Stargate opener into a Void Ray first, into +1 Charge Lot Archon with Storm behind it. Very unique composition from Skillous, very unique opener. I don't think we're going to see that again here in game 2. We may see it again in the series. Again, it's a best of 7, plenty of games ahead of us, but I imagine we should be going into a different direction. Skillous is going to be rocking up across the map, shading in towards the main. We saw that he was able to kill quite a lot of workers in game 1, and once again he takes control of the high ground and oh god, gets eyes on the saturation, gets eyes on the natural, dipping into the mineral line, and will manage to shade out. Just meeting up with the other adept. Of course, 2 adepts do one-shot drones, so this does pose a big threat to Wayne. Behind this, not a Void Ray burst, it's going to be an Oracle burst. So things looking a lot more standard. No Void Ray, not this time. Not this time. As the Overlord dives in, we get a scout off. We do get eyes on the first unit of choice, and the second, we're aware of at least the double Oracle. So a nice scout there from Wayne. He's aware. Adept's going to be shading the hell out of there. And Skillous, he's more concerned with holding on to his third. Remember, last game, because Skillous lost his adepts, he lost his third base as well. Meanwhile, the Oracle does dive in. We get one. We get one drone, not ideal. A bit of hold damage is dealt, but Skill's going to be able to back off, regenerate their shields, and come back in again. And there's that follow-up. I see a Twilight Council as we take a third base. Where is the Forge, by the way? We third end of the gateway. We do. Glaive Adepts. This looks and feels like Glaive Adepts. We'll see if we do embrace that or if we go in a different direction. Again, there are some 8 gates blink all-ins with no Forge, for example, no upgrades. Hero does that from time to time, but this should be Glaive Adepts. So very interesting opening. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracles, they do dive in. They pick up a couple of drones and some Lings. With the death of those Lings, that means that these Adepts are that much more threatening. So we threaten a shade, and we do commit. Oh, not quite, but do cancel. But we're backing up. And here we go. It is not Glaives. It is going to be Blink. Now, this is something that I just mentioned about how we have seen some players like Hero. There's another that comes to mind. Hearthstone. That's it. Hearthstone does this as well. When he goes into, as the Oracle goes down, when he goes into a Blink and without a Forge. Now, Hearthstone delays his Forge and gets it eventually. Hero doesn't. Hero just doubles down on mass gateway, on mass Stalker production, as we're going all in. We're going all in. We're cutting workers here at 36, and we're just walling across the map, using the speed zones to speed these queens across the map. Now, there is going to be mass blink Stalker to defend. How many gateways do we have? Only 4 gates, by the way. Not ideal. The queens have been spotted. Skillous, he's aware of the all-in. Forge now on the way. Wayne waddling on forward here. Ravagers are amassing Lings as well. I'm loving the stasis traps. We can hold. Queen does overextend. Looks like one of the queens may go down. The piles not quite going to be connected, but that's a lot of stalkers. Yeah, far too many stalkers here. We focus down the Ravagers one after the other. Wayne does overextend. Like, with this all in, he just doesn't have enough to break through. Does not have enough. Being forced back, he's droning up back at home. And the Mass Blink Stalker getting a bit out of hand here. And Wayne, he's in a world of hurt. He's falling further and further behind. This wasn't all in. This was designed to break this third base. We didn't even need all these shield batteries. It wasn't even necessary. Skillus had more than enough with all his warp ins. And Wayne is in a lot of trouble. Behind this, he's on 42 workers. He's still redroning, still resaturating. And Skillus, he can push out. Now, his upgrades are delayed because the Forge was delayed, unfortunately. But regardless, it's all on the way. And he still has these Blink Stalkers. He still has map control. We can still push. He's going to be knocked down. We see some of these Ravagers are exposed. We get one. Oh. And yeah, Skillus, he's just looking very comfortable at the moment. He's up in economy. He can take a 4th base from here. He can throw down a Robo, get into Robotic Spade production. We double down on gateways, actually, as we throw down the 2nd Forge. And the Robo now on the way. Oh. So we force a cancel. Force a cancel on the 4th base. We do get a Master Round. We force a recall. Stalkers are going to get picked off at the same time. Oracle's tried to dive in, but we had plenty of queens in position. Nice little wins here for Wayne as he catches even more Stalkers. It's going to be 9 Stalkers going down in total. Not too bad. Again, Wayne, he needs something like that to go his way. Because he's still only on 47 drones. At this point, we go for a 2nd all-in, right? Okay. More Roaches on the way. We're not draining. We're losing workers and we're not resaturating these bases. Which I do agree with. I don't think that Wayne can get into a longer game from this point. I think he's too far behind. So we have to just double down and hope that Skillus is too greedy. There we go. Big Link counterattack setting up for us around. We are setting up for... We try to cut off these Stalkers, but alas, they do slip away. We don't catch them. Wayne, he bleeds out a lot of units here trying to do so. So many links just went down. And Wayne, he plummets in supply. He's getting ready for another push. It's all we have left, Papi. It's all we can do. We do catch some of these Stalkers. We do catch some, but again, they do slip away nonetheless. 4th base getting up and running. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Wayne. Miles going to be zoning back the army. We do get on top of the Cyber Core. But again, we just don't have the numbers. We just don't have enough Lings. The Lings, they've been bleeding out for far too long here. We did snipe the Cyber Core, which means no more Stalkers. But yeah, GG gets called. We run out of steam, and Skillus will tie up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, with the lack of Forge, with the additional Warp Ins, we did have Skillus with a pretty hefty amount of Stalkers and was perfectly fine against the all-in of Wayne. It did kind of fall on its face, and Skillus had more than enough to deal with it. More than enough, and yeah, with that, from that moment, Skillus was kind of in the driver's seat. Even with Wayne going for a 2nd all-in, just didn't really have any bite to it, really. He was just too far behind at that point, and Skillus had more than enough Stalkers. Very well done. Very well done there by Skillus. And now we get into game number 2. Game number 3. We have it back and forth. We're tied up 1-1. Really, that's all that matters. We are tied up. And who takes the lead? That's the question. Who takes the lead in this series? Where do we go from here? I mentioned before that, again, Wayne is a very aggressive player, typically. Very aggressive here, as we saw. So willing to go for these all-ins, but at the same time, he can play a longer game. He can play standard. He has it in, I believe. Ooh, as we are loading into Hecate. Okay. A more defendable map here as well. I wonder what direction Wayne will take us in as we load in to Game 3. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have a red Zerga player representing Starlight Twinkle being forced into a tied-up series. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 1-1. It is Skillous. Here we go. Getting into our openers once again, no hatch block out of Wayne. Once again, forcing the unnatural natural here across the map as we do get into our openers. And I do appreciate that we've seen something quite different here from both of our players so far in these two games. Game 1, we had Skillous, again, going into charge, rushing into Storm. Game 2, we saw a more interesting opener, prioritizing Blink, of course, delaying upgrades, getting additional warp-ins, and being more than prepared for an all-in. Let's see where we go from here. Are they playing Radicet? I am unprivy to the vetoes. I'm not pretty. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe game 7. It's possible. So both players had one veto each, right? One veto. I imagine the vetoes should be Radicet Station and Equilibrium. Those should have been the 2 vetoes. But we'll keep our eye out. We'll keep our eye out for Radicet Station. And Equilibrium as well. As we're getting into our gate expand. Skillous getting into his opener. Probing on up. Likewise, Wayne not doing anything too fancy either. Gonna be prioritizing link speed and then pulling out. I was going to say my eyes are going to be on Skillous, but I do have to keep a keen eye on the drone count of Wayne to make sure, you know, if he ever does decide to cut workers and go all in, we're on it. Do need to be on. From here, once again, we do have our Stargate opener out of Skillous. Yeah, Stargate should be Stargated to Oracle, but we'll keep an eye out to see if he does kind of divert into a different path. Does head in a different direction. As the Overlord already takes a lot of damage. Now, with this Stalker first, this also reads like it's going to be Twilight Council, so Wayne is further in the dark here. Usually you wouldn't make a Stalker if you go for a Stargate opener. Ooh, as Skillous is being quite adventurous here, moving out across the map, trying to hunt down another Overlord. And are we gonna get it? Queens are waddling in, but this Overlord, it's gonna go down. Overlord does full supply blocking Wayne. We have an Adept to support just to make sure we don't get surrounded. Link speed still a couple of seconds away. And Skillous with a pretty big pickoff, to be honest. That Overlord should not have fallen. I mean, to be fair, this Stalker shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be out there. So, very cheeky move here out of Skillous. Behind this, it's going to be Oracle first. Ooh, and I love the word. Okay. So, a couple of things are happening here. One, I mentioned before, Stalker shouldn't be here with a Stargate opener. And Wayne knows that. He sees the Stalker, he's being fed false information. And that's why we don't move out with the first Oracle. Skillous, he's making it look like a Twilight Council opener instead. Yep, Roach Warren on the way. 4-minute timing. This is too early for a Roach Warren. This shows us that Wayne believes it's not a Stargate. Meanwhile, we're banking up these Oracles. We have 2, and now we move out. Skillous with the mind games, Papi. Let's go. Delaying his Oracles, hiding them, and making it all look like a Twilight Council opener. And now here we go. Spores now being thrown down. Queens, there are 2 in position here at the 3rd base. And that's going to be distracting. And the Oracles, they come in from behind. While these Queens are busy and drones are going down. The 1-2 punch. 4 workers. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 6. And we get 7. Just barely not. 6 workers full. You can see this positioning as well. This was positioned for a DT opener. Again, Wayne being completely caught off guard. Link counterattack gets deflected. And Skillous, he's in control. He's in control of this game. 6 workers go down. Third base is on the way. We do have that Twilight Council with Blink on the way as well, with a delayed Forge. Very similar to the last game. Very similar here. Very similar follow-up, I should say. And with that, Wayne, he's stuck back at home droning. Stuck droning desperately here. Making extra spores. And Wayne forced to invest into all these lings. The Revelation has eyes on this though. Skills, he knows that he's perfectly safe and sound back at home. These things, they can do nothing. They catch a couple of transferring workers. Not bad. 3 probes. That is something. That is something. But again, still not enough to recover. Skilla still has an economic lead. Something that should not be happening in this matchup as we catch another Overlord. Overlord going to be going down. Oracle, I believe, does get eyes on the 4th. We know what we want. We want that 4th base. Stalkers are pushing out. Blink should finish up just in time for this push. We have an Epsilon on the right-hand side. Skills can be applying a lot of pressure. We have Lings in position to deal with the Stalkers, but the Adepts, they do shade in. They shade in towards the natural. Wayne, he does drag away his Lings, which means we can deny this 4th. That's the whole purpose here. The Adepts, they can kill some workers here and there, that's fine, but the purpose of this is to deny that hatchery, and it will be going down. Do force a cancel. We catch another Overlord. Behind this, we're getting into Ling Roach. Team production underway. Behind this, Wayne still just struggling to rebuild. He's stuck on 52 workers compared to the 67 of Skillis. His economy is actually insane right now. And Wayne, he's stuck catching up. Behind the second rover, Robotic Spay on the way for Colossus production. Skillis is looking so comfortable in these 3 bases, and soon to be on 4. Because of the map, because of Hecate, this 4th base is very defendable as well. We have a ramp, we have, again, quite a close proximity here to the rest of the bases. Is quite secure. The Oracles, they're not done. Revelation does get eyes on the would-be Bailey Nest. We're aware of the Ling Bane Roach Ravager. We are aware of the composition. The new 4th base has been spotted by the Observer, and we want it! We want the 4th again. We're so greedy! Stalker's revealed on the right-hand side. Ooh, the entire army is revealed. Wayne knows. He is aware. Getting in position. But just because he knows doesn't mean he can stop this. Link's trying to go for a wraparound. He's coming in from behind, but there are just so many Stalkers. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yeah, the Oracles are going ham. Stalkers, they stand their ground. We have Blinks. Do pick away. Force back behind the mineral line. Ooh, we're catching a lot of Stalkers, actually. Very nice trade here for Wayne. Cleans up half the Stalkers. But behind this is else they get into the mineral line, they get into the main base, 6 drones go down. But Wayne holds onto his 4th. Yeah, that was 15 Stalkers. Oh my god. Really rough trade for Skillis. The surround was worth it. Reinforcements are on the way. We clean up the roaches. But that was a good trade for Wayne. If it wasn't for losing all those workers, he'd be in a much better position. But we're evening things up. Skillis getting punished here for being too greedy. Especially after he revealed his army to the Overlord. I think that was just a little bit too much to commit. Behind this, we have 2 Colossi, soon to be 4. 4 Colossi is critical mass. Like, that's kind of what we're looking for before getting into Disruptors or Immortals. Four Colossi is the ideal. Meanwhile, Wayne just focusing on this Ling Bane Roach Ravager. More drones going down. Prism slips into the main. We're in position this time, though. Wayne has got roaches, got queens. But throughout all of his skills, he's still teching. Templar Archives on the way. Storm, Archons. All on the horizon. You could argue that at this moment, on 4-base saturation, we could start thinking about Sky Toss. But Skills just wants to round out his army, make sure he's safe first before transitioning. Big revelation here on the army. We do get eyes on the Banelings. Well, we should be rotating over. There we go. Colossi making their way towards the left-hand side. They can wait. He has maxed out. Bailing speed does kick in. We're rolling in towards that Minerai, towards the army. And good connections. We connect here with the Colossus. Overcharge is going to be able to keep this alive just barely, but the Ravagers, they break on through. The Colossi looking so exposed. And Skillus, can he hold? The Colossi, they're going to be going down one after the other. Reinforcements are coming in. Skillus, he barely does push this away. Keeps one Colossus alive. And again, Skillus' lack of Stalkers was really hurting him there from earlier. But we're holding. We are holding on. At the same time, Zealot drop into the main. Massive warp in as well. The Queens, they're so close, but they cannot get on top of the Prism. Big warp in. Won't achieve too much, gets 10 worker kills. Skills pulling back. Doesn't want to overextend, catches more Overlords. But Skills, he needs time. Now, at least the economy was left untouched. You know, we were able to build up our cannons, shield batteries. But Wayne, he's re-maxing here. He's going for another big push. And we need more stack defense here at the third. There's 2 shield batteries and 1 cannon. It's not enough. Wayne, he's arrived once again looking to knock down this base. Archon's exposed. We're out of range of shield batteries. No overcharge. We get a full surround. And Wayne, has he done it? Has he broken through? Yeah, the Immortals on their own, they're being completely swallowed up by the army. And with that, we have broken the third base. Across the map, we're getting damage done. Zelda going him. But Wayne, he doesn't care. Takes down the economy, takes down the mineral line. He is losing a lot of trades. I will say that. A lot of workers are falling. Skillus microing his heart out. He loses 20 probes across the map. Skills, he still maintains a worker lead, by the way. That's how far ahead he was. But it's his army. That's the problem. When it comes to a Protoss composition like this, losing your Colossus and Immortals is brutal. It takes so long to rebuild. We saw this with Night Phoenix. Same thing happened with Night Phoenix, where he'd be building up a death ball of an army and he'd lose his carriers or his Colossus, and it would take so long to rebuild. And by the time he would, Wayne would remax. Wayne would remax in time and knock down the army again. Now, as I say that, the difference here is that Wayne has to drone. Wayne, he's stuck re-droning, resaturating. This will give Skillus the time he needs to build up an army, but is it the army? Is it enough? Fourth base on the way. Quite an exposed fourth, though. Things will be coming in for us around. We do get the Archon. Yeah, big pick off. Archon goes down. We're getting into disruptors of all things. It's gonna be okay. Personally, I think I would have preferred a couple of Colossus first. Colossi, they have their place. But I'm sure the goal is to get there. Is to get into both. Abzel's coming in, going to be harassing. We get another handful of drones. Again, based on just how much Ling Bane there is, disruptors won't really help too much against this. Archons will. Oh, good blinks. Oh, as we get into the middle line, 19 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Not like this, Swappy. Suddenly the economic advantage that Skillus had isn't there anymore. It's not there. Not anymore. Good pickups from Skillus. Does get some of those lings. Do another big warp in here into that natural. Once again, Wayne, he has maxed out. He wants to fight. He wants to push in. Can we line up that Nova? Can we connect? Baiting run by towards the natural. Drone's gonna be going down here at the would-be fourth. And we break in. At least they do bust in. Nova's going to be going off, and we will connect. Big connections. But we do close the distance. We get on top of the disruptors. Wayne collapsing on this army. At the same time, though, he's going to be losing everything across the map. The Zealots are getting out of hand. The Zealots are getting out of control here. Lings in the main base, they do get cleaned up. And these Zealots, they've killed 30 drones across the map. No shot. That one Warp Prism. The MVP here, 31 drones. And just like that, Wayne, his economy is in shambles. He has almost nothing left. He has an army, but it's not enough. Not enough, not anymore. He's still stuck on Lingbane Roach Ravager. Meanwhile, the immortal count has been kept alive, has been preserved. Has been preserved at this point. The Nexus on the way. Skillets, he's up. 30 supply. How many disruptors? 2. Not too many. But enough. But it's not about the disruptors, it's about the Archons, the Immortals. It's about everything else. Wayne trying to rebuild his army here with what little he has left. Oh. Going for another run by. He's just trying to buy time, trying to force back the army. Skillus is about to remax though. Big stage trap does go off. Show us the Nova. Show it to us, man. Alien counterattack. Ooh, doesn't get in. That was close. The Immortals were almost caught out. And here we go. That prism does come in once again. Has been remade. So I'll take it into the mineral line. There it goes off. Decent connection. It's okay. Grazes the army. The Zealot Harass just does not end. Does not stop. You dive on top of these Archons. Lingbane is going to be running out though. Without the Lingbane, what do we have to protect these Roaches? Nothing. Nothing to protect them. The Immortals, they go ham. Big Zealot Warp in here into the mineral line. More drones going down. Wayne is being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. He cannot hold on to space. He's trying. There are so many Immortals. Nova does connect. 17 workers go down. The boys, they have to be pulled. It's all we have left. The boys are being pulled. Immortals going ham. GG gets called, and Skillus will take game number 3. GG. That was an intense game. That was very back and forth. There were moments for both players where Wayne was breaking the third base, getting on top of those Colossi after Skillus had overextended. Before that, Skillus was playing beautifully. Remember when he was denying the bases, when he had initially hidden his opener and hidden his tech and kind of lured Wayne into a false sense of security, able to just catch him off guard. There was a lot of back and forth there in that. But in the end, Skillus, his Zealot counterattacks were crazy. I had kind of dismissed them a little bit just because Wayne, for the most part, was keeping up. He had Roaches, Queens, Lings in position, typically, but all it took was one moment where Wayne was hyper-fixated on his push, and he had foregone his defenses back at home. GG. GG, well played. With that, Skillus takes a lead in this series. Still a best of 7 though, still plenty of games to come. As game 4, it's going to be on Alkione. Oh, wait, hold on, my apologies. Wait, what? Hold on, the UI is a little bit broken. There we go. For some reason, it had Wayne on the left-hand side instead of Skillus. My apologies, There we go, all good. So yeah, Skillus, he is up in the series. Wayne looking to tie it up again. Once again. Go. aye. So I was just catching up on Discord. But yeah, we're just getting ready here for our first game. Again, pretty back and forth overall, very intense game there as well. But our next game is going to be on Alcyone, much larger map in the map pool, very much so macro oriented. If we were to get a late game, which we haven't really had yet, like games have been going long, that's true, but we've been stuck on these mid-tier armies with Ground Toss up against Lingbane Roach Ravager. We haven't seen anyone embrace Sky Toss yet, or Hydra Lurker Viper. We haven't really gone into a split map scenario in this series. Alcyone would be a good map for that, if we wanted that. That's the thing. Like Wayne, he doesn't really enjoy that kind of style, that kind of late game situation. If he can end it early, he will. He will. We are setting things up. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Catching up. He was here for like 8 years. True. True. Smurge. Where have you been all my life? I've been casting, Poppy. I've been casting. When did we start casting? 2017? How long has that been? 7 years, mate. To be fair, late 2017 we started casting. Almost 7 years. Crazy. Crazy. It's been so long. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're just waiting for Wayne to get ready. Waiting for him to set up. We are loading on it. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1. It is Skillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, we're going to tie things up. It is Wayne. Here we go. Here we go. Skills coming out with his Probe Scout. Wayne going for a very early hatchery here, going for a 14 hatch. Oh my god. Dark, is that you? Just now going for the extractor trick. So it's going to be a 14 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Very interesting. For those that are curious, when Eric kind of brought attention to the 15-15 last year before that, when he brought attention to the 15-15, of course everyone was embracing it, but the Koreans, they actually didn't. They were actually looking more over at 14 hatch timings instead. So players like Solar, Dark, they were actually playing around with that, and that's kind of what we saw here. It's an alternate way to get your hatchery up on time, get your hatchery up on location without being disrupted. So, interesting that we see that here from Wayne. Does mean that he will not be forced to take the unnatural. Natural will have a much more comfortable time here in the early game. Much more comfortable opener. Skillous behind this, going to be getting into his own gate expand into the cyber core, into a standard opener. Again, talking about the map itself, there are some features of it that are interesting, like the goal bases. You can try to rush into this early on as a natural or as a third base, but it's a very risky thing to do. Meanwhile, when it comes to the other bases here on this map, they're quite defendable. Long rushes despite ground. We have the Zonaga here that's covering the main attack path, so it's very easy to scout pushes ahead of time if you have map control. And likewise, these bases are very well fortified. We have ramps, we have points of elevation. We can, of course, expand over towards the right-hand side as well to take a fourth. And as a result, we have seen a lot of late game here, a lot of 30-plus minute games on Alcyone. Will that be the case? Will that be the case here? We'll see. We shall see. So we have our our Stargate on the way. Once again, Stargate opener added skills. He hasn't really diverted too much from this. Look at that Stargate opener. This time there's no Stalker. There's no like crazy kind of mind game here in the early game like we saw in the previous game. Thing is looking a little more normal. A little more standard. Here we go, our Adepts have arrived. 2 Adepts do want your workers. We can, of course, threaten the mineral line. Oracle is on the way behind this. We have our unit of choice. Not going Void Ray, not here. I mean, honestly, this wouldn't be a bad map to rush into Skytoss. We've seen Classic have success with it here on Alkyone. Seen Hero do it as well. But I don't know if that's really the kind of style that Skillus enjoys. Well, as he is going to be caught out. It's a good surround here by Wayne. The Adepts barely to escape, but we will shut them down. 2 drones fall, but only 2 workers. Oh, we get a 3rd. We get a 4th. As the Oracle comes in from the right-hand side, picking up a couple of extra workers as well. 5 drones for 2 Adepts. A decent trade. As we continue Oracle production. And we get our 3rd. Wayne just doesn't really have much of a presence here. As we catch even more workers at the 3rd. No dead workers though, quite a lot of hull damage. Skillus overextending a little bit there. Meanwhile, as the Oracles are across the map, the Lings, they do go for a big counterattack. But the 3rd Oracle arrives just in time to defend the wall. But the wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the mineral line, into the main base. We get a full scout of the main as well. We confirm the Twilight Council and the Forges follow-up should be +1 and Blink. Big scout from Wayne. Does confirm everything that's coming. And he should be feeling safe to drone. Should be feeling safe to just saturate our bases, get a 4th, and work towards roaches. Roach Warren is on the way. Oracle, they rotate around. Wayne in position. Overall, he's done a good job at keeping up with the Oracle movement. So far. There are upgrades, as we mentioned, +1 and Blink. Not going to charge this time. And we should be getting into a more back and forth. The 4th, speaking of, is a bit delayed. Just now on the way. Interesting that Wayne has opted to go for the 4th on the right-hand side. And, oh, because it's so late, we could force a cancel. The Oracles, they're going ham, but the Queens, they get here just in time. The Oracles will not get a cancel on that 4th base. The game is going to settle from here. We're going to be stabilizing. Both players going to be probing on up. Skillus has a pretty solid worker count here on 3 bases. Working his own 4th. Again, this 4th of Wayne was delayed. I kind of want him to double expand just to make up for it. Ooh, as we are rushing into an infestation pit. Interesting. With the fast pit, we can go into a fast hive. And we can rush into Adrenal. That is true. We can, of course, get really fast Vipers as well, but I'm curious what kind of direction Wayne is wanting to go for. As the Stalkers, they do arrive very quickly here. Blink is done. What's the Queen? Does want the Queen. Gonna be forced back. Stasis traps on the way. Skillus applying a lot of pressure really early on here. Wayne not quite ready for it. And there it is. Hive is on the way alongside the Hydrogen. Looks like we want to rush into Hydro Lurker Viper. Okay. Lurker tech is on the horizon. Wayne just has to survive. Just has to live. As he's getting his 4th base up and running, still droning. Skillus still has a worker lead, which is pretty crazy. 4th base on the way. And as he's dancing with these units, the stasis, oh, massive stasis trap goes off. The Ravager is exposed. We can dive on this. We can dive, and oh, it barely will survive. I was concerned. But we're getting to Storm. We're getting to Storm. Phoenix is on the way. Interesting choice. We are going to be amassing Phoenixes. Revelation doesn't see much here at the natural. Doesn't see too much as we go further into the main, and here we scatter everything. We see the tech, we confirm the Hive, the Hydrogen, and the Infestation Pits. We don't see the Lurker Den, but we can assume. We can assume it's on the way. And immediately, Sky Toss. Here we go. This is what we expected on Alcyone. We spoke about how this map is known for its split map play, for its late game. That's what we're getting. Hydra Lurker Viper versus Sky Toss. Now, we're not there yet. But Skillous, he's backing off. For the most part, he's chilling back at home. He does have Storms. But won't be too proactive with this army. He knows he can't be. I mean, for all he knows, Lurkers could already be out. He has to be very careful with this movement. Banning out a couple of units. Wayne taking the gold. I do think that Wayne's saturation was delayed and his expanding has been delayed, but overall he's getting to Lurkers. That's what's important. We've gotten here. Viper soon to be on the way. And show us that Sky Toss. Did we make the Phoenix? We did. And a handful of Phoenixes patrolling. Carriers are in production. So again, so important here that Skills was able to confirm what was happening. Oh. Mortal, oh, sorry, Lurker almost overextending. Mortal going ham. Good feedbacks, oh my god! Very nice feedbacks here, good storm as well in the lanes. Skillis, he does trade well. So we come to overextend. At the same time, we do have a big counter attack on the right hand side, but the station draft catches more Lurkers. More Lurkers get caught out, and Skillis does pull back. Does pull back home. Protection is required. And we should be able to clean up all of these Lurkers. It's going to be a brutal loss here for Wayne. At the same time, he's pushing towards the left-hand side. He's trying to pull Skillis out of position. Links towards the natural, but carriers are on the way. And they're soon to be revealed as Wayne, he's setting everything here in between the bases. Lurkers are going down, and this feels very messy here. It's going to be a really rough trade for Wayne. Does pull back, leading out a lot of roaches. Hydras are amassing, but the carriers, they have arrived. Oh, the High Templar. They were caught out. And we will catch these Immortals. Immortals will go down, but we trade so many Lurkers for this. Wayne does have a supply lead, but yeah, I don't think this is ideal. We do have to retreat. In the end, Wayne, he lost 7 Lurkers for 2 Immortals. Not a good trade. But he's still not slowing down. He wants to keep pushing. He wants to keep on going. But the longer this goes on, the more carriers are going to be arriving. The Storms! And we connect here with so many Lings. Oh my god. The Lings go down. Yoink, one of the carriers. Barely bring it down as well. Once again, Storm's going to be going off. The High Templar did go down to the spines though. Big Lurker shots here on those High Templar. But all we need is one more Storm, and we do connect. Yeah, Lurker's going to be going down. The Hydra's thereafter as well. Is it going to be enough? Is it enough? It barely is. Clean up the Hydras. We clean up the army. Wayne is remaxing. That is true, and this is kind of working. Like, he's trying to barely break through these defenses, and he is. Yeah, Archons are falling. Immortals as well. Wayne trying to force the issue. He's so close to breaking through, so close to breaking the back of Skillis. The Abduct gets a carrier. Gets another carrier. This is getting very scrappy here. We lift up one of those Lurkers. Skillis, he has momentum. Doesn't keep pushing though. Calm down. Calm down, Poppy. Skillis gonna be pulling back, rebuilding his carriers. Now, the thing that I'm most concerned about here is that Wayne doesn't really have much more longevity here. Like, he's got a decent economy. That's true. He's got +3 range on the way, but there's no Spire. There's no Spire whatsoever. We're still committed to Hydra Lurker Viper. And we bled out a lot of units here in the process. brain is falling apart. I'm trying to keep up, man. I'm trying to keep up. Here we go. We're pushing in. The High Templar have been morphed in. We have some storms. We have storms available. Wayne, he's so committed here. Now throwing down the Spire. Big storm here on the Hydras. And it just feels like Wayne is being outscaled. Again, Spire is on the way. Eventually a greater Spire. This still feels late, though. As Wayne is rotating around. And this carrier count, it's only getting higher and higher. Skilla still very comfortable here back at home on these 5 bases. His army is split. Viper's coming in. Once again, Wayne going so deep here in between the bases. He's going right into the Nash. Oh my god. And he's so prone to being surrounded. High Templar from both angles. Massive storms here on the Hydras. And the Lurkers as well. And Wayne, he's being completely surrounded, being completely pulled apart. Every Lurker falls. Like, Wayne, he's just been so aggressive here, and it's not been it, Bobby. It's not been it. And Wayne is still stuck on Pure Hydra. The Spire is done, but again, we don't have any upgrades, no Greater Spire either. We can't really afford to transition into Broodlords, into Corruptors. It's not happening. Here we go. The Sky Tools with Immortals to support are pushing in. Plenty of storms available as well. As Skillus is being forced back. So the run by on the right hand side. GG gets called. Wayne, he runs out of steam. He knows that the writing is on the wall. And Skillus will take a further lead in this series. Getting to match point. GG. GG, well played. Again, Wayne was pretty all in, essentially. I was talking about how, like, there's no transition and there's nothing else behind it. Essentially, he was all in. It was all or nothing for Wayne. That's why he was diving so hard in between the bases. And why, when it failed, there was nothing left. And Skillus suddenly had control of the game. I appreciate the aggressive nature of Wayne there, and his ability to get into the Lurkers initially. But the big moment in this game was Skillus scouting. Was him scouting that Hive, scouting the Lurkerden, scouting the Hydroden as well. He was so quick to transition into Sky Toss, and there was never a really good answer for it. There was never really a good answer for that Sky Toss, and Wayne was just all in. He was committed. And the longer it went on, the worse it became for our Zerg player. And with that, Skillus is 1 game away from becoming our Christmas Cup champion. Uramas, papi, uramas. That's all he needs. And Wayne needs to win every game moving forward to force the ace match. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy here for Wayne. Skillus just needs 1 more. Yet he came in as the favorite player here, and I mean, he's showing why he's one of the best Protosses in Europe. He's up there. He's up there along the likes of Max Pax and Showtime. He is one of the best that Europe has to offer. Wayne is up there as well, but has been struggling here. And we spoke about it, where Wayne, he doesn't really thrive too well in the late game. He thrives in the mid game. You know, that's where he can be aggressive. He can pull you apart. He can be in your face. Not on Alkion. The map even working against him. But now we're going to be spawning into a smaller map. Into Hardlead. A map known for all-ins. Let's go. Let us go. As a spawning in, oh god, in the bottom right hand, top left hand corner of Hardlead, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. He's up against the wall. He's in a rough position here. He has to fight back here and now to try to force an ace match. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. 1 more game is all he needs to become our champion. It is Skillus. Unomas is all he needs. Let's go. As Skillus, he gets across the map, forcing the unnatural natural. Now, talking a little bit about the map itself, we're loading into Hardlead. Shortest rush distance map in the map pool. If we wanted to be aggressive, if we wanted to go all in, this is the map to do it on. But Wayne has already tried He's already tried and failed previously in this series. He may be deterred. He may try to go for a longer game. What is he... Yeah, what's the plan here? How do we approach this? Again, we've seen many a Zerg players like Dark, even Cyril, even Raynor, go for these big queen pushes. Wayne has opted to go for the linear third base. Our first sign of more passivity here. Typically, if we wanted to be aggressive, the triangular third is used to kind of spread creep and launch creep across the map very quickly. We can knock down these rocks, reduce the rush distance by ground even further, and push in towards the bases of Protoss. But that is not the case here. Again, a much more defensive base has been taken instead. Skilless back at home, going for a gate expand, standard opener. Every game so far he's gone for a Stargate opener, and yeah, based on this pylon placement, should be a Stargate once again. Should be a Stargate. Oh my god, where has the time gone? It's 5 a.m. Oh my god. I was giving myself a hard time because I was like misspeaking a little bit in that last series, in that last game. I was a little bit frazzled. And I look at the time, it's 5 goddamn a.m. in the morning. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. It's okay, we can keep going. Can keep going. As it is going to be a Stargate opener. Again, based on the pylon placement, you can throw down that Stargate a little bit closer to the edge of the map just so you can reduce the time it takes for the Oracle to get across the map and get work or damage done. Should be an Oracle opener out of Skilless. Likewise, Wayne, still in the dark, going to be dipping in with the Overlord, trying to get a read on what exactly is going on. Should be... Oh my god, never mind! We had an Oracle on the way, but Skilless, Pappy, changes his mind, going for a Void Ray. It's going to be a Void Ray opener instead. Skilless, he wants to end this with some style here. With the death of this Overlord, we can throw down whatever tech we want, and it will be hidden, it will not be seen, it will not be scouted. Or at least it shouldn't. Now, this could just be a standard opener. It could lead into an Oracle, into a third base, into a Forge and Twilight Council, or we can go for an all-in, or something more aggressive. Overlord goes down. Oracle on the way behind this. Setting up for a third base. And Wayne is in the dark. Now, typically, once the Void Ray reveals itself, one, we have to bring back all the Overlords. Overlords are floating back home. Queens are amassing. And we do need to prepare a Roach Warren a little bit earlier. Why? Oh, as we throw down the Evo Chamber. Because we don't know if there's Glaive Adepts. There could be Adepts on the way, or there could not. We don't know. So typically it's risky to delay the Roach Warren even further. I'm speaking around a 4-minute 30 Roach Warren timing. We'll see. Oh, as we're rushing into Sky, oh my god! And this is something you can do with a Void Ray opener because the Zerg player has no idea what's going on. We have a Fleet Beacon. We are rushing into either Carriers or Tempest. Oh boy. And again, it's on Wayne to figure this out. He has +1 melee on the way. Oracle coming in. He has opted not to throw down the Roach Warren, which is a good thing for him. It could be Glaive Adepts and it could kill him, but he is gambling a little bit here, assuming that his opponent is playing standard. Yeah, Baneley Nest going to be on the way instead. It's going to be Ling Bane here from Wayne. Now, on the one hand, at least he doesn't waste resources making a Roach Warren. That is true. But on the other hand, he still is in the dark, still doesn't know what's going on, and how long will it take? Because we are rushing into Tempest. We have Tectonic Destabilizers on the way. I know that name. Let's go. It is in production. I think one of the only upgrade names I don't know is, I used to know it. Ultra Speed? I had no idea. I was told it. And I remember hearing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to remember that. Ultra Speed and the other one. The Medevac upgrade. The new Medevac upgrade. Regardless, Bailey's being set up. They do get scattered by the Overlord. Likewise, at the same time, Oracle gets into the main. Revelation does get eyes on the lair timing as well as that Evo Chamber. Now, because this lair is so late, no Overseer Scout. It is not available. It is not there. As Lings are racing across the map, and they're going to run into a wall of Adepts. And we have Adepts. Shield Battery still on the way, but the Oracle will force this back, and the Lings, they find no damage. We have so many Lings here, and these Lings, they could have been drones. That's the thing here. They could have been workers, and they achieved nothing across the map. Tempest have arrived, yet to be revealed until now. There we go. The Tempest, they reveal themselves to the Lings. I think this is a bit premature. I don't think we needed to, but Spire immediately on the way. Spire is in production for those Corruptors. And Skillus, he is pushing across the map. Oh my god. We're rushing out with our Tempest. What's interesting is that behind this, we're getting into a Twilight Council. Looks like we're going into Ground Toss. +1 is on the way, Twilight Council as well. It looks like potentially Skillus wants to force an overreaction. At the Tempest, they have arrived. Here we go. Knocking down that hatchery. At the same time, Lings, they try to come in, but they are forced back. Queens, they do deal a little bit of hull damage, but not much. And again, behind this, we have more gateways on the way. This should be a Ground Toss transition. Show us the blink. Show us back. As Lings, they're getting more value. They do surround these Zealots and Adepts. They do trade somewhat here. So Templar Archives is on the way. Should be Charge Lots and Archons, and there it is. Charge in production. So the goal here is that Skillus, he's hoping that he forces an overreaction. He wants too many Corruptors to be made. That is the goal. Meanwhile, Ling's going for a big counterattack. They do catch a Pylon. They catch a Zealot. Where is the army, by the way? So we do get himself the shield battery. Overcharges popped, and we are getting into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Good hold position micro here by Wayne. At the same time, across the map, the Tempest are going ham here on the base. They're going straight for the hatchery. Corruptors coming out just in time. The hatchery will go down. And we force a recall. We get one. Up. We get two. Two Tempest. Which is good damage, don't get me wrong. But how many Corruptors do we have? We have 9, soon to be 15 Corruptors. And where is our ground army? There is no ground army. And we're getting into Archons, Papi. Archons and Charge Lots are on the way. They do arrive just in time. We're now going to be getting into Roach production. What are our upgrades looking like? We have Roach speed, but no +1 range. We have no ground upgrades. As the Corruptors are being forced back. And again, we're done with Skytels. We're not making any more Void Rays, no more Carriers, no more Tempests. It's all about the Charge Lot Archon. And these Corruptors, that was a big investment. A lot of money was spent here on these Corruptors, and it's not really going to help. Not against this. Wayne trending up to 74. Looking for more damage. Looking for another way in. Zealots, they do come across this space, and they will force a cancel. Up. Up. Just in time. Even a couple of drone kills as well. Behind this, Blink is on the way, +2. Fully saturated on 4 bases. Skillus, he has the better economy. He's up 10 workers compared to Wayne. Meanwhile, can we deny Storm? Like, oh, we will. Storm is going to be denied. Big pick off there from Wayne. Very nicely done. And this is how we gain value with these Corruptors. Sniping Storm is pretty huge. And now Skillus has no splash damage. I mean, sure, he's got a couple of Archons, but Archons aren't Storm. Behind this, Wayne trying to get his 5th. His 5th is very late. I wouldn't be opposed to double expanding, just to catch up, just to be able to keep up with the economy of our opponent. Wayne, he is up in supply, that is true, but be careful when it comes to that, just because Wayne's supply is inflated. One, Roaches are very supply inefficient, so they are inflated supply. Likewise, Corruptors, once they kill the Tempest, they're not really helping or adding anything when it comes to big army engagements. So they are somewhat dead supply. I say somewhat because they can snipe buildings, which is true, and they can of course kill the Tempest. Oh, speaking of, as Wayne is coming in with everything he has, he is maxed out. He's going straight for that center base, forcing a cancel. Skillus not quite ready for this, and again with Storm he could fight this. Without it, can he deal with this army? Overcharge is popped. Roaches, they try to go in for a bit of a counterattack. As Wayne is forced back. Skillus just needs a little bit more time. And again, sure, Wayne, he's maxed out, but Again, his army is 16 roaches, a couple of ravagers, 14 corruptors, which is a big part of that supply. This 200 supply army, it's not like the others. The soup, it does lie. Soup, sometimes it does lie here. As Roach is getting picked up. There was a time here where Wayne, he was up like 60 supply, and again, it didn't even matter. As Skillus is catching up. We have a field of stasis traps. Maxing out here with Archons, charge lots. We have Storm, we have Blink, we have +2. And we're going in. Oh, massive stasis trap here on the army. The Ravagers, they get caught out. They get caught and there is no escape. They are going to be shut down. Wayne peeling off his army, trying to find another way in, trying to distract the forces here of Skillus. But he does get caught. The Ravagers, they will escape. Just barely. Let's go. They will manage to waddle away. Behind this, we're working towards Hive Tech. We have an Ultra Cavern. We have Adrenal on the way as well. We are refining our army. And as the game goes on longer, now Skillus can invest into his Sky Toss. +1 air attack on the way. Carriers, they're an option. They are now an option. So the game is going to be stabilizing from here. We can see Skillus building up a bank, refining his army, working on more upgrades. I'm sure he wants to trade though. I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to investing into something like more carriers. So he's going to be pushing on the right hand side. Likewise an army towards the left. So far Wayne, he's keeping up. He is keeping up, has plenty of stack defense here at these fringe bases. Prism does get into the main. Do get a bit of a Zealot warp in. Drones are going down, and we are committing. We have an army pushing towards the 4th, or the 5th. Bailey's crashes into Stalkers, and you don't want to see that ever. Bailey's barely touch those Stalkers. At the same time, we push towards the center. Hatchery is going to go down, and Wayne, he's being pulled apart. We lose the center Hatchery. We might lose this 5th base as well. The Corruptors, they dive on top of the Tempest, but there's nothing else they can do. The Corruptors, they are dead supply, and Skillus, he's pushing in. He gets 18 worker kills here in the main base. Almost gets a kill in the Ultra Cavern. Oh my god. And Skillus, he's not done. As the 5th base is going to barely stand strong. Skillus might be overextending. We do have reinforcements on the way. The High Templar are exposed. They are so exposed here. Another High Templar goes down. Skillus, we need to get out of here. The Ultras are coming out. Good storms, but it's a one-way trip. It is a suicide mission here as every single Archon going to be pulling. Skillus overextending. But doesn't matter. Because we have 3 Stalkers and they kill a base. Base goes down, Prism in the main. We get another big weapon of Zealots. And we are remaxing here on what though? Stalkers, we have Immortals, big weapon of High Templar. Wayne does have momentum. He just cleaned up the army. Did just clean up the army here. File's going to be connecting. We bring down some of the stack defense. We need more time. What happened to the Corruptors, by the way? We pick up an Archon. They're dead. Okay. Well, this is the moment. The Corruptor count has been reset. We have 3 Corruptors remaining out of 15. And suddenly, again, Skytos, it's looking appealing. We can get into Carriers, into Tempest, into Void Rays. I'm loving this Void Ray transition. There is very limited anti-air. Again, mainly Ultras and Roaches. This base is going to be denied. Skillus stuck remaxing though. Still stuck with a ground toss army. The problem here is that Wayne has been losing far too many bases. He lost the center base, lost the 5th. And he hasn't been replacing them. He doesn't have an economy. He's down to 58 workers. Wayne, he's running out of resources, running out of money at this point. Needs another base. Speaking of another base, he does catch a Nexus here towards the left-hand side. Force a recall. Mortals are recalled. At the same time, Wayne pushing on the right-hand side with his Mass Ultra. Kindness plating is done. But we have Void Rays. We have Void Rays, and what shoots up? Vials, I guess? We have those 3 Corruptors. And more Corruptors are on the way, but the Void Rays, they can just chase this down. There's no reason not to. Towards the left, it looks like this massive Link counter-attack is going to bring down this base. Recall is on cooldown. And Skillus, he has to commit. Does have to commit. Massive storms! Oh my god. Massive storms here on the Ultras. The base does fall. 5 probes as well. Not too much economic damage done. But this is what's important. We deny the 5th again, containing Wayne to 4 bases, and we are running out of resources. We're running out of mineral patches. Skillus is maxed out. Wayne cannot. He's trying to. Do we have Neural? We do. The Neural! Let's go! Neural here on the Archons. We're trying to blink off forward. We're trying to focus on as many of these infections as we can. But Wayne, he's taking a fight. Just barely isn't, as we're running out of Neural. The Immortals, they go ham. They force their way through the Ravagers, and there's nothing left here. Wayne running out of money, running out of army. 1 Ultra remaining. And Skillus, he has done it. He has broken through. GG, congratulations! And Skillus will take the series 4-1, becoming our Christmas Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Skillus here in style as well. Here, even in the ace match, in the final game, going for Stargate into Void Ray, into Tempest Rush, and then transitioning out of it. Remember, it was only 4 Tempests. He made 4 Tempests, then bam, into Ground Toss instead, and did force Wayne to overcommit. He made 15 plus Corruptors, and they were kind of useless. They weren't really helping too much, even with Wayne having a maxed out army. Again, it wasn't an ideal army. It was a little bit all over the place, and Skillus was able to trade more efficiently, able to expand, of course, deny bases, and pull Wayne apart left and right. GG. GG, well played. An impressive series here out of Skillus, and deserving to be our champion. Did, of course, bleed a little bit here. You know, Wayne made him work for it. It did take a map and almost took a couple more. There were some very scrappy games here in this series. Likewise, earlier, Nickrat also was able to force the series out of Skillus as well. So I do appreciate that throughout the course of this entire tournament, even in the group stage, Skillus was dropping maps. Skillus was not untouchable, but still the strongest player in this tournament. Still make his way through. Just double checking, and yeah, even in the group stage, he dropped maps to Gref, he dropped maps to Young Yakov. He dropped maps to even Nickrat as well. GG. I just appreciate that, again, it just goes to show that all these players are pretty comparable and competitive with each other. But congratulations nonetheless. GG. GG, well played. It's been a month in the making. This event started back in December. December of last year. That's why it's a Christmas Cup. It started December 16th, and we've been hosting events for Bronze players, Diamond players, Masters, Platinum as well. Events were held for some of the lower leagues before getting into the GM level, the GM portion of the tournament with all the pro players, and it was great. It's beautiful. It was amazing. Great to see Europe kind of come together for this, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. GG, well played. A great turnout here, a great tournament, and hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. I do apologize, especially in Game 4. I think it was Game 4. I was kind of losing my train of thought a little bit too much. I'm tired, Papi. I'm tired. How long has our cast been going for? This broadcast was 3.5 hours. Before this, we had a 5-hour cast. Right before it, we were going over the round of 8 of the Christmas Cup, and then before that, we had ESL Cup Americas. So I think 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours straight of casting. 2 days in a row. Yesterday we casted 9 hours in a row. Jesus. Yesterday we had a 9-hour cast. Today an 8.5 hour cast. And we made it. We survived. We're done. I'm gonna go get some food and go to bed. It's 5 a.m. here in Australia. We're done for the night. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting us. If you want some more StarCraft action, if you want some more casting here on the CranKy Ducklings, we're gonna be live in less than 24 hours. Let us double check. We're going to be live tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia. It's going to be a live cast of ESL Open Cup Asia. So if you want some Korean StarCraft action, we got you covered in, let me just double check, 14 hours time. 14, that's enough to sleep. Yeah, we'll be okay. 14 hours time. That's enough to get some food, get some rest, and do it all over again. So tomorrow is going to be ESL Open Cup Asia, followed by Masters Coliseum. The final round, round 5 of the group stage of Masters Coliseum is going to be tomorrow. Now, unfortunately, Masters Coliseum and ESL Open Cup Asia, they're going to be overlapping. They're going to be overlapping and they're going to be clashing with each other schedules-wise. We will most likely be focusing on finishing ESL Asia, and then after that, we'll go into the Masters Coliseum. And we'll start from the beginning. So, yeah, that's our plan for tomorrow. Back-to-back 2 broadcasts tomorrow. We had 3 broadcasts today. We had 3 broadcasts yesterday. We're hunch. I also have some viewer replays that were submitted to cast. I have to get around to that. I was gonna do it today, but I'm not gonna keep going. we're done. We're done. Maybe during the week. We'll find some time to go over some of the viewer replay casts. So we got you covered. Also, a big shout out to okay, how do you pronounce this? Noi 00000. There we go. Noi 000. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Jeremy SC2. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the sub as well. If you're a subscriber, you can of course gain replay packs in our Discord server, so you can join our Discord. You also gain access to our emotes as well. So thank you so much for the support. Again, if you want to support us here on the channel, you can subscribe. We have a Patreon. The Patreon, you can see it towards the bottom right. Our goal is almost met for our Patreon, where we do host our events. Basically, the money that we don't make on Patreon for our tournaments, we make up for via Twitch. We do use our Twitch money to pay for our events, so you can check us out there on Patreon if you're interested. If you want to support some of these more community-funded events, we got you covered. Otherwise, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We're also co-streaming on YouTube as well. So if you maybe prefer to watch on YouTube, then you can do so there. Likewise, VODs are instantly available on YouTube on our own channel. So if you missed out on some games, we got you covered. We do have you covered there. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Otherwise, yeah, thank you to everyone for dropping by. Do appreciate it. Lloyd is a refreshing member of my living room. His booming voice fills my family with joy and love. Yeah, I appreciate it. You're welcome, Bobby. You're welcome. Hope you enjoy. Shaking my head. Just catching up. Thanks. Oh, dzień dobry, man. Dzień dobry. Hope you all did enjoy, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next year for the next Christmas Cup. There you go. Christmas Cup is hopefully going to be coming back next year as well, and hopefully even better, even bigger as well. When it comes to our next events, as I mentioned, ESL Open Cup Asia is tomorrow, and Master Coliseum starts back up tomorrow as well. Every single day in this week has Master Coliseum. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday, to the grand finals. Also, if you happen to be native to Poland, I know there are a couple of Polish viewers in the chat, there is a Polish LAN on Saturday. There's going to be the House Galactic Battle, I believe, in Warsaw. There's a internet cafe, or I say there's a gaming bar in Warsaw, and there's a big event going on there that is offline, and be a part of it. We're going to be casting. I won't be there live, unfortunately, but we're going to be casting it here in English, so plenty of content available here on the CranKy Ducklings. That's going to be a full day event as well. That's going to be like a 12-hour broadcast. That's usually how LAN events are, so we'll do our best. We'll do our best to stay sane, stay healthy, and stay alive. Otherwise, thank you so much. We're going to be heading off for the night. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Don't know who, but we'll find someone to send our love to. Find someone to support. So give them a chance. Give them a chance. Stick around and give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow in 14 hours for ESL Open Cup. Asia. Until then, thanks so much for watching. Hasta luego. Also, a big shout out to Hatsu. Big shout out to Hatsu, Nicorrect, and Bratok. Those are the 3 organizers. The 3 organizers for this event, for making this event a reality. So big shout out. Both Hatsu, I mean, all three of them, I think they were all casting in Russian, and Hatsu and Blatok were live on their own respective channels. So much love. Much love. Less than 3. Until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.